Believe. Anyway, um, how's it going, Bear Dog?
It's going pretty good.
Yeah.
My adventures in smoking has begun.
You're okay. It is July, the 20th of July, the year of our Lord 2022. This is the last Alaboom while my daughter is 14 years old.
So it's the last year she'll talk to you?
Haha.
Just,
No, she begins she turns 15 on Friday. She's going to Gen Con. So if anybody's listening to this, is going to be a Gen Con. You'll get to meet her. Next week will be our Gen Con preview, review, whatever you want to call it. I have received confirmation from Collins of Keith.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, the MC will be here to host the preview of the Gen Con for us. So for those of you that I know anxiously await our massive undertaking of perusing the upcomingness of Gen Con, you will be able to go through the list with us one by one as we do in the process. I have a grievance that I'll wait for Aldi to get here though.
Aldi's not coming.
He's not coming?
He's on a boat.
Oh, that's right. He is on a boot. What a jerk. They don't have Wi-Fi in the boot.
Oh, I don't know about that boat, but the one I was on was horrible. Jen texted me. I was on another deck. She texted me, and 15 late minutes later, when I returned back to the room, I got the message. It was horrible.
Really?
Yeah. When you're on land, it's okay, but out in sea, it's horrible.
Well, I suppose they have to have a satellite link or something, right?
Yeah, I'm supposing they do, and then route it through the ship somehow.
So that's the thing that I always wonder about. You know, it's just like, so not that I do this often, but sometimes when I fly on a plane, because I'll on the plane I will download like a wrestling podcast or something, so I can just listen to that on my phone while I fly. And to be truthful, I listen to like the first 5 minutes and then I'm out. I'm asleep. But anyway, though the thing about that is that sometimes I'll start listening to it while I'm waiting for the plane, and I'll board the plane and I'll get on. And I got the headphones in. I know the song and dance, the whole, your seat is a life raft, that whole thing. I get that process. And I'll go through the entire time and I won't put my phone into airplane mode, right?
Yeah.
So I don't even think about it. But while I'm in the air, and then two things. We'll come back to the second thing I was going to reference. But I mean, and I don't understand it. I'm sure there's some sort of blocker or something or whatever, right? I'm guessing it's the distance of your phone to the cell towers, because we don't communicate directly to the satellite. We communicate down to the cell towers that go up. So you're so high up, you can't reach the cell service, like the cell cloud or whatever that it's in.
Makes sense. You got an antenna.
Yeah, exactly. But so the last time I was on a plane, though, I saw this whole thing where it said, turn on airplane mode and then go into Wi-Fi. And I was on a Delta flight, and it was like, oh, you can use free messaging to talk to people. Like they won't give you access to like the full Wi-Fi that lets you watch Netflix or something or whatever, right? But they will let you clue in to get uh uh they will let you get in, and you can like use like Facebook messaging to like message back and forth to people. And I saw somebody messaging people, and I was like, oh, that'd be cool. I can message people. And I couldn't for the life of me figure it out because I'm old and a curmudgeon and ridiculous. And I sat there trying to figure out how to connect. And it was like, okay, just go. And I follow the rules. There's a little pamphlet on how to do it. Go into airplane mode, go into Wi-Fi, connect to this thing, and then like you had to do some other step. And but my phone would never get to the next step.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't get to the next step. And then it was like, oh, you can ask a whatever flight hospitality expert,
What the hell is that?
assist. Well, the people that are there, right? You're not supposed to say stewardess or steward anymore,
I thought it was
But-
flight attendant. What the hell?
I don't know. It said see your flight hospitality expert. It said that on the thing for assistance if you can't do it.
Okay.
And so I was like, I was probably just being stubborn and prideful, and I was like, meh, I wasn't gonna do it. Yeah, and I did see Successful Geek at Dice Tower East. Dice Tower East will always be just Dice Tower Con for me, just like Dice Tower West will always be MeepleCon. Represent. Original MeepleCon attendees.
What, the 1 year it happened?
No, MeepleCon was
No, that's right.
for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Dice Tower came and they picked it up a couple years later.
Yeah, they absorbed it from Tim.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went to MeepleCon once. It was a lot of fun. It was cool. It was like one of the most chill conventions I was ever at. I mean, like a lot of conventions like present themselves as being like a totally chill convention. Like it's just like, oh yeah, no big deal. Everybody just take it easy and have fun, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
And it was just like, but that one was like totally like, hey, we've got a really big game library, so you can pretty much play whatever you want. We don't really have events. The outside of this giant room at this casino hotel in Reno is like available for you to like, and so that was for the vendors. And so like there were like maybe 10 vendors there total. It wasn't like a huge vendor thing, right? And it was like, and they were totally chill too. And it was just kind of like, oh, hey, how's it going? Yellow had a booth. I remember trying to remember all the places that had booths. Anyway, the whole point of this was it was just totally a convention where everybody just relaxed and had a good time and played games. And then the really cool thing was that oh, look, Forrest Bauer is going to join us. Remember him?
His wife let him out of the garage.
Yeah.
Or back in the garage. Either way you look at it.
One of the two. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Run Fight or Die is a great buy. Successful Geek. It is fantastic. But no, but I remember they had a flea market, and I remember I managed to pick up, and admittedly, a lot of people say it's not that great of a game, but I really like the game Supremacy. And the really tough thing to get if you are a fan of Supremacy, it is almost impossible to get the expansions to it because they didn't print many. And some guy had a complete set, and like I got a good deal on it. So I was like there. Yes, Wayne, it was very nice to say, at least to our US backers right now, that we have all the stuffs. And we are basically, if you backed Arcana Rising, supposedly they started sending them. Oh, Forrest can't get his computer to work.
Yeah, looks like he's got problems with UPS.
Yeah. No. The Arcana Rising is going to be starting to go out. Supposed to start going out today. I did not hear one way or the other, but I mean, you rarely do from the people. They don't send you, hey, we sent out one today. I mean, I'll email Miniature Market tomorrow and find out what's going on. And then if you backed If
Well,
you
we
back,
can hear him, but
I,
we
I
can't
can
see
hear
him.
Forrest. He's groaning.
I couldn't figure out my camera wasn't working. It's because I unplugged it.
Oh, nice. And then if you backed Campaign
Usually a
Trail,
good reason.
Ragnaroks, or the After the
Hey.
Empire reprint, you better get me, and you live in the United States, you better get me any address changes by the 24th, because that stuff's going to start moving next week. So, and Greater Than Games fulfillment's taking care of that. Well, look at it is. You came back.
Yeah, things are starting to settle down.
How's that daughter of yours?
She is wonderful. She sleeps through the night. She's healthy. She smiles a lot. She doesn't cry very much. And when she does, as soon as we get her situated with whatever she wants, she's cool. And she is fantastic.
Yeah. So Campaign Trail and 3 to 4 sets of the promos you're offered to help with shipping for me. What? I'm sure it's Wayne's either messing with me. I don't. Wayne, just email me. Lance@GreatFoxGames.com.
What's making Gen Con?
Arcana Rising for sure. It really depends on we want Campaign Trail was a smaller one. We'd love to get Ragnarok's out so we could make that to Gen Con, but there's no way we can make that to Gen Con. So, but we can, if we do Campaign Trail first to US, we should be able to get that. At least US backers will have tracking codes. So, and not tracking codes like, UPS is waiting to, for to receive your shipment, like literally have the games in their hands and be moving. And then we could have Campaign Trail 2nd edition with all the expansion stuff and all the cool stuff. We'll demo Last Light for the first time in forever. Champions of Midgard and Jarl Edition and Deception are all back in stock. So we'll have all that for people. There's pre-orders right now for Arcana Rising Deluxe or I should say Arcana Rising Kickstarter Edition. We don't say Deluxe. That's old TMG roots.
Son of a bitch.
I'm sorry.
See,
And then it was Deluxeification. The trademark. Michael trademarked Deluxeification.
I thought it was deluxified.
No, it was Deluxeification.
Deluxification.
Yeah, it underwent the Deluxeification process.
I had to pick up Hong Kong. I didn't realize it was back in stock.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that game.
We should have a few promo. We should have, and also Tantrum House allowed us. So if you have a copy of After the Empire, Tantrum House had a Kickstarter last year, and they offered a very rare promo for After the Empire. It's just a few cards, but we'll have that. I mean, it's pretty rare. I mean, we had a couple hundred left over, and normally we wait a year before we offer it, but Kevin over at Tantrum House was like, yeah, just sell them, go for it. So
Good.
yeah. So yeah, if you didn't get in on that and you want a super rare promo, we'll have those. Demoing Last Light, demoing Arcana Rising. Like I said, my daughter will be there. I'll have a couple of my running crew from here in Fargo demoing there. So
Last Light number 12 on the Board Game Geek Gen Con hotness.
Yeah, hey, if you want to come over and play, we're not going to play full games, and we'll have we're having like a really nice prototype made for it. And hopefully it'll make it. But no, we will absolutely be demoing it. You'll be able to sit down and at least play like a few rounds of the game, so you can get a feel for it. And then, yeah, you can go to and if you haven't backed it, you should back it. You can go get your late pledge in on GameFound. And if you already backed it, go back it again. So, as I always say. Well, if Scott's not going to be here, I might as well tell you my grievance from earlier today.
Can't wait. I do want to compliment Scott on these things, though. The metal What
Are
did
you
they
making
crash?
fun of me? You heard
No,
me
no,
last
no,
week. You're
I'm
you're,
not.
you're yanking my chain because I told you that was my grievance from last week. That like as I was
A little bit.
leaving,
A
yeah, you
little.
are.
No,
You were here
but
for this. So at Dice Tower, like literally, like we check out. I've had my tumbler, my board game geek metal tumbler, like the entire time, my drinking thing, and I
Tumblr, that's
was
what they're called.
yeah,
They called
yeah.
it craft for some reason.
So I was sitting there getting all fancy with your carafe, but no,
I don't really know what that is. I thought
Yeah.
that was it.
first, it's probably just the light, but it looks like you're going gray. It's actually
Oh, I'm gray as hell.
yeah, okay. Well, there you go. You're getting distinguished.
Silver fox.
There you go. Anyway, so no, so I always lose those things. I always lose my water bottles. And it was this thing where I was like, I made sure I carried it with me and I had water. And, you know, it's just one of the things is just stay hydrated. That helps you stay healthy. It helps you like fight infection. You know, you're not tired as much. So I was sitting there and the entire convention didn't leave it sitting somewhere and then I have to race back and try to find it. I had it in my hand the whole time. We have to check out at 11, so we pack up everything. I bring my suitcase to the booth. We, you know, sell out 95% of the booth. We just had very little things left, basically pretty much just giving the stuff away at the end just so because we couldn't ship it back. And then we had to there was like the few items that we had that were worth anything. There was a local guy that was gonna like, you know, sell them on consignment, so we were just like, all right. So left my suitcase in the booth, left my water jug on top of my suitcase, left my backpack against that. I started helping carry these big giant boxes of games out to his car, was out of the booth for 10 minutes, came back, my suitcase is there, my backpack is there, my board game geek tumbler is nowhere to be seen. Like somebody like literally was like, yeah, free water. Awesome. And I figured somebody was screwing with me and I asked him, no. So yeah, just lost it. Just gone. Super annoyed.
But they are really good tumblers.
Yeah, no, I like the ones because they have the straw. I like the ones with the straw.
Oh no, it was in the 90s here with like really high humidity. It's like Florida for the last week.
Yeah.
But I had it out with me yesterday while I was building something all day, and it was cold all day.
Yeah. No, so so today today my wife asked me if I would go get lunch, and I was like, sure. And she was like, I'd really like McDonald's. And I was like, all right, well, cool. So I said, go ask the kids if they want anything. Kids said, what, you know, oh, they want nuggets. I was like, all right, whatever. So I get my car, I drive to like the closest McDonald's to me, which is still, you know, a good 10-minute drive to get there. I get there, they're doing a bunch of construction, but the drive-thru is open. I was like, all right, fine, whatever. So I pull in. You know, unlike literally like nearly every other time I've ever gone to this, there was no line. I mean, there was a line, but I mean, like basically there was a thing open, so I could just say, yeah, this is what I want. So I get there, and I said, like totally like one of the, you know, it's like, yeah, I want this one, I want this meal, and I want that meal, and this is what I want to drink with it, and that's what I want to drink with that. And then hey Robert, you know, I asked her what do you want, and she requested it, so back off, man. Anyway, so you're not listening to my story, dude. Sit down, Forrest. You're not listening to the dude. You're not listening to the dude's story.
I'm listening. You
Okay.
you asked your wife if you wanted coffee.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I just say the word coffee once the entire time. You're not listening to anything.
You're about to order coffee in the story.
No, I know.
You're at an establishment and you're about to order something.
What establishment am I at?
I don't remember, but it's one that's normally very busy. And this time it was not very busy. And I figured I'd pick up the rest of it through context clues as I listened.
Okay. Well,
I'm
so
90% of the way there.
okay. It was McDonald's. Anyway, the point is,
Okay.
is that so I get done and then my kids don't like any of the sauces. And they're like, well, what do you want for your nuggets? I was like, I just want a bunch of ketchup packets. And they're like, okay. And then I see the screen says 2 ketchup packets. And I said, 2 ketchup packets isn't going to cut it. I need a lot of ketchup. And then the person said, don't worry, I'll let them know. They'll give you a bunch. I was like, all right, whatever. So that's foreshadowing. Just so you know. So I get to the first window, I pay my money, I pull up to the next window, and the person says to me, could you pull forward to spot number 2? We'll have your food out for you right away. Fine, whatever. It's not the weirdest thing in the world. That it wasn't. So I pull forward to spot number 2. And while I'm sitting there, the person in spot number 1 has somebody come to their window, hands them a bag. They take the bag and they drive away. Now, at this exact same McDonald's in the past, if I've been in spot 2 and the spot 1 opens up, I once moved forward to spot 1. And then when the person came out, they gave me somebody else's order. And then I drove away with the wrong food. And then when I called and complained, they were like, well, why did you move spots? And I was just like, whatever. So I was like, well, I'm staying here because I'm staying in 2 because that's what they told me. They told me, like, I'm not going to get my wrong food. I'm not going to do those things. And I sat there and literally 10 minutes go by. I'm just sitting there, just kind of listen to the sports radio, not really. And all of a sudden, somebody lays on their horn. I was like, what? And I rolled down my window because it's hot outside. It was 94 degrees. I had my air conditioner. I rolled down the window. The woman at the drive-through is leaning out. She's like, you gotta move forward. It's just, and I was just like, okay, whatever. I mean, because they couldn't just walk out, and say, oh, hey, could you move forward, please? So I move forward, and oh, good, Jeremy Howard will join us later. So I move forward, and I'm sitting there, and then the guy who laid on his horn pulls up next to me, and he's staring at me, and I'm like, well, what does this guy want now? So I roll down my window, and he's like, hey, bro, sorry, they told me to honk at you. I was like, whatever, don't care. Cool, no worries. But now I'm mad because it's just it's well, I could leave my little area here and I could walk in front and I could say, could you please move forward to the next spot or something like that. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, excuse me, sir, could you lay on your horn and bother the person that's in front of you? So I'm kind of getting annoyed. And then sure as shit, I'm sitting there. This guy comes out and thankfully I knew because I had a huge order. I had 2 nuggets orders and I had a bunch of cheeseburgers and stuff. This guy's handing me this little bag. He's like, here's your order. And I was like, that's not the order. And he looks at me and he's like, oh, did you have this, and this? I was like, that's exactly what I had. And he's like, oh, yeah, we're waiting on some fries, but yours is up next. I was like, all right, cool. Now it's 15 minutes has gone by. And I'm just like, well, this is kind of ridiculous that I've been waiting this long. So I watch, and it's not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 more cars get their food and drive past me.
I'm sure none of them had fries.
3 of which are eating fries as they go by.
They punished you.
Yeah.
You're in timeout.
Yeah.
Then that
They
motherfucker
did.
square one.
20 minutes of sitting there after I've ordered, the original guy comes out and he's got this woman with him. They literally have 2 bags of food. They have 1 drink tray that has, because they get my kids wanted McFlurries, so they had 1 drink tray with the drinks and like one drink like wobbling in the middle of the drink tray, and then the other person, she's got 2 McFlurries in her hand, and I was just like, could I get a second drink tray? You know, for all this stuff, I'm one guy with a blue healer in the car. I'm not. There's nobody else here to hold on to this stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, that's sure. And then I said, is there extra ketchup packets in the bag? And the guy opens it up and he's like, there's 2. And I said, I asked for extra ketchup packets. And instead of like, oh, that sucks, let me get those for you or anything like that, he was like, well, they didn't tell me. And I said, that's funny because I was assured that they would tell them that it would happen. And then he kind of looked at me with this dull. I was like, can I just get some more ketchup packets on another drink tray? And he said, yeah, sure. 5 minutes later, he comes back out. So yes, from the point of what I ordered to the point that I finally left, it was 25 minutes. I was angry enough. And this is, yes, for those of you listening at home that are
still awake,
that are watchers of the program that we have here. Yes, this is the same McDonald's that screwed me over before.
Why do you go back?
It's the closest one.
You fucking deserve it, Lance. If you continuously go back to this shit place, you deserve it.
It's the closest one to my house.
What's the next closest? 5 minutes away? 10 minutes?
It's like another 10 minutes away.
All right, so think about that. You already spent 25 minutes in the thing. You add 20 minutes from there and back. You're even without the stress.
So I wrote a tersely worded email in the 1,200 characters or less that McDonald's will allow you, and let them know exactly how I felt. And they let me know that
exactly how they felt.
They were sorry that I had the experience that I had, and that they had sent my feedback to the franchisee to let them know of the negative experience that I had felt. So
sure it'll get things changed.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Now,
I deal with the public every day. Imagine that with food.
So I'm not gonna steer anybody towards reading any kind of thing, but there was somebody who, and admittedly, if people get upset with the company that I work for, they absolutely have every right in the world to be upset about the company that I work for. And but somebody said something like, I purchased this, I no longer want to own this game that they're printing. When I get this, I am going to leave it in the shrink wrap, and I will give it I will give it to anybody that wants it, or if somebody wants to trade me for it, that'd be cool. That I'd be fine with it. And then I don't know, it was about like the 15th or 16th response, and somebody said, that'll show them. I had to laugh. I mean, and I'm not trying to laugh at that guy's like that customer, and I feel bad that we didn't make that guy happy. And I don't say it flippantly, but I did chuckle at that. I was like, just like me writing my cursedly worded email to customer service at mcdonalds.com.
Right
this will
delete file.
This will get changes happening. Once I, no.
Now they'll give you a coupon for a half edible burger. No, I don't know.
I don't know. That was. So did you find enough people to populate your room at Gen Con? I saw you were begging for people to live with you.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say begging. I asked for people. Yeah. Found two people, one guy from Amsterdam and one guy who's working the show.
So Forrest, I want to know your feeling on this. I feel like it's going to be still fairly sparsely attended Gen Con.
Are we comparing it to other game conventions or specifically Gen Con?
Not specifically Gen Con.
I agree. I think the mask policy really pissed a lot of people off, and I know that in anecdotal evidence, all the hotel rooms were completely sold out right before they made the announcement, where they just pretty much were like, "Oh, well, I guess if Origins is doing, we'll do it." And then the next few days after that, it was wide open. Like I could literally get any hotel downtown I wanted at all.
Yeah.
It was a huge. Now, granted, that's just anecdotal evidence, but yeah, I think it will not feel quite like a normal Gen Con. But once again, I don't think it'll be. I think unless you're trying to sell stuff, I don't think you'll notice the difference that much.
What are you doing?
I'm getting ready for Gen Con. Going through my Gen Con stuff.
It's Gen Con stuff.
What's your Gen Con stuff?
And everything. You got a big tote. You got cough drops. You got Febreze. You got Dayquil. You got fanny pack, microphones, extra microphones. Combs.
You do realize that it's still not for like nearly 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, but I also I screwed the pooch on Origins, and so I just want to be ready. Like I'm just inching my way till. I was not happy with how I did at Origins, and I'm going to do it better at Gen Con.
So yeah, that was the other big news. Mythic, if you were a backer of Darkest Dungeons, they basically went back and said that they needed another like $1.4 million to be able to fulfill the campaign.
Oof! Wow.
And
not a good look.
And they were asking like
what did they
for another $70? Like if you had an all in, they're asking for another $70
for what, shipping or
yeah.
Okay. I thought it might have been like we fucked up on the estimate. Yeah.
Matt Paquette says it's funny. I'm not even really looking forward to the con, meaning Gen Con. I'm mostly looking forward to 1, seeing friends, and 2, being away. Which is funny because Matt, your partner said that they were also looking forward to you being
away.
and that your partner's other
partner
other partner was also excited about you being away. So, why is Matt in the chat not in here talking to us?
He might be at the office. You never know.
Get out of your dreams. Get into our car, Matt.
Yeah. Get out of my brain.
See, baby.
I was thinking about actually going and like my daughter turns 15 in a couple days, and I was like trying to figure out Matt, listen here, Lance. Hey, take care of your own garden, Matthew. Don't bring me into this. So just like I wouldn't have to report this stuff if it wasn't happening. No. What was I saying? Dang it. What was I saying?
Daughter 15.
Mythic
Games, daughter 15. I had some. Oh no. So my daughter, for her birthday, she likes to skateboard. And so she didn't want the $75 Walmart special anymore. So I skateboarded a little bit when I was in high school. And so I've mostly forgotten everything. So we went to like the local independent skate shop, and I had her basically build a custom board and paid for it. And then she and the woman there that was putting the boards together, she showed her how to put her own board together and just get all the parts and everything. So it was fun, right? But while I was there at this place, they had all kinds of cool stuff. And so what's one of the things, if you're boarding, what's one of the things that like, well, I don't know if you guys did this, but I mean, when I was like 14 or 15 years old, I didn't have a car, but I still had a house key and stuff like that. Well, you had a lanyard to keep your house key, because like usually your jeans are too like you're always worried about losing your house key or something, and you think so you had a lanyard to keep your keys on. And I was like, and they had all these cool lanyards there, and I was like, what if I just got like a thing like that instead of like the boring old stupid one that they just hand you when you get to Gen Con? I don't know. I feel silly like paying $10 for like a lanyard.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
I
I had a Broncos one for like 5 years, and I loved that thing until it snapped.
yeah.
Then you lost your house key for us.
Nah, I was lucky. Plus,
So there were
they're fun to
there
mess
were-
around with, fidget with.
yeah. There were a ton of people that reported leaving Dice Tower East having COVID. I know of several myself. So I'm a little bit like, maybe I think this next week I'm gonna sign myself up and see if my daughter wants to do it and go get a booster, and then feel like
Yep.
crud for a day.
My wife asked me to do that
Yeah.
actually yesterday, oddly enough. I need to look into that. I should do that right now.
You can do you have a Walgreens near you?
Yep.
Just go to walgreens.com, man. I mean, if you have insurance, it's free, or if like they can't find your insurance, they'll charge you $5.
$5.
$5 to give you a poke in the shoulder.
No
out.
holler.
I'm out.
Kabuki
You're
lost
out?
somebody?
I got insurance too. I'm just
Then they'll do it for free. They'll just you just have to show your you just have to show have your original COVID thing and you're good to go.
I think I need a booster actually.
Kabuki, that sucks that you lost a friend. I'm sorry. Hope you're doing okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
that sucks.
Yeah,
People get old. So
they do. Or young, they die.
I still remember the day my grandpa, he was my mom's dad. He was probably, I think he was like 64 or 65. And he was still working at the time, but he came in and he was visiting us. Him and my grandma were visiting us from the swinging town of Minot, North Dakota.
Woohoo. Never heard of it.
Minot, North Dakota. It was according to NORAD, it was considered to be the second.
Oh, the missile silos.
It was considered to be the second most likely place to be the first thing nuked by the Russians because of the Air Force Base and all the missile silos around it.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what my grandfather did. He ran a janitorial service that regularly cleaned out like all the missile silos. The missile silos. Yeah,
that's cool.
The missile silos. Yeah. Anyway,
My father-in-law was a nuclear missile. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I remember he as grandpas did at the time, because we didn't have phones. He had that little pocket thing where you pulled it out and it was a combination checkbook and calendar and everything else. And then he would be always writing stuff into his calendar. And I remember one time I was like, Grandpa, what are you doing? He's like, the older I get, the more funerals I have to go to. I was just like, it's kind of sad. Just like, yeah. And just the older I get, the more my calendar fills up with funerals. Oh, yeah.
I hate to be the person that lives to like 100, because you're the last man standing, or woman. All your friends are going. Half your family's going at that point.
I had a great uncle just recently passed away. He was 95.
95.
Had not really horrible dementia, but he had trouble remembering, unless you were somebody he interacted with on a daily basis. He had trouble remembering who you were. Yeah, I mean, he was a pilot. He gave me a few pilot lessons when I was in my teenager. I would know just enough to crash the plane if I was in a movie where they're like, does anybody know how to pilot a plane? I would know just enough to kill everybody. And then he was actually a world renowned ballroom dancer. Yeah.
They still have that?
Victor Gelking was his name. But anyway,
I was thinking about that the other day.
But ballroom dancing?
Like how that's disappearing, and like when my grandfather was growing up, he listened to the big bands, you know, the Glenn Miller band and all that. And that, you know, very rarely hear that anymore.
Stuff gets phased out, you know.
Yeah. But I mean, certain thing like Elvis, he's still around. His music's 60, 70 years old.
Yeah, nobody
not
listens
quite
to
young.
Elvis except for you weirdo.
Oh, plenty of
I
people still
posted this
do.
on Facebook, but this is my new favorite shirt.
Caddyshack, was that?
Caddyshack, baby.
Yeah.
Judge Smale. You'll get nothing and like it.
Yeah.
I want a hamburger, no a cheeseburger. I want a chili dog. I want potato chips. I want a milk. You'll get nothing and like it. Yeah, Matthew. Why aren't you in here, Matthew? He's talking about your swing dancing. Yeah, she doesn't, you know, your partner doesn't really like swing dancing. Just letting you know.
Just the swing part. What about you?
Yeah. Ah! Well, I got this book, which I did because I'm friends with Ben. But it's the time old tale of, you know, what happened to TSR. How did D&D start off, and then you know, how did TSR basically the company just vanish and why it happened. I fully expect to. I read about a third of it already. I got it today, and it's one of those things where, because I've read so much stuff about it, because I've become friends. I mean, a lot of the stuff is just stuff I already know. There was a couple of things I didn't know that were interesting a little bit, but I mean, yeah, no, I mean, it's you can pick this up on it's like the #1 book in Amazon for, I forget what it is. There's some category, you know,
Fiction
books
or
about
nonfiction.
I don't know what it is, but it's kind of a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah, so like there you go. I got that in the mail. I got some other stuff too. Let me see here. I mentioned to people that if you wanted to, you can get this through Lulu again. I got my copy in the mail of Petty Gods. Just a bunch of weird, strange gods that you can use in your old school. You could use in any D&D or any fantasy game, really. I mean, just if you need an idea for like Myford, the petty god of street lamp lighters. You know, why wouldn't you want to use that in your campaign? There's a bunch of monsters in here as well. Like there's like basically some classic, you know, some just weird monsters you can use as well. I guess that is like a gargoyle or something peeing up there. Kind of weird stuff. There's rules for having cults and stuff. Here he goes. There's a good name for a monster. The Venus Exsanguinator.
Ooh.
Yeah, he looks spooky. Okay. Yeah, #1 new release in popular culture in social silences.
Silences?
Yeah, that too. Sciences. I spoke incorrectly. But yeah, so no, there's some cool monsters and stuff in here, like, you know, weirdo monsters. But anyway, it's you can get it for like $22 shipped off of Lulu. Pretty good deal for a nice big hardcover. Let's see here. Another giant book of a mega dungeon that I will never run. Here's like, look at that map. Nobody would ever want to run that map ever.
Ever.
You would never, ever. Everybody always thinks, oh, I'm gonna make this giant map and I'm gonna put all this cool stuff in it. And I'm gonna have 1,000 rooms and everything, you know, no. And so your players are gonna be bored after like the 3rd room, and they're going to be annoyed by it, and they're not going to want to do it anymore. But cool art though. Yeah. But anyway, Duero Deep is the newest giant mega dungeon from Greg Gillespie, who it's a little cringy. Don't this might be the last Kickstarter I back of his. Just because he's never been anything nice to me, and he and I have exchanged a few emails in the past, but some of his politics now just kind of make me go. So I get annoyed. So and then I got this guy, troubleshooters. I talked about this, like the old like the Tintin comic book art, and it's kind of like 1960s spy adventures in Europe. So if anything, I just wanted to get it for the cool art and just check out, and it's just from the little bit that I've read in here, like, you know, here's you know, I mean, there's some cool stuff going on. I haven't really dug too deep into it yet. I plan on it though. There's lots of stuff that I read, and then I never play it. I just really like reading the stuff. But yeah, there you go.
Me.
Oh, and then I got the adventure book for troubleshooters. U-boat mysteries.
U-boat mysteries.
Anyway, that's my mail call since the last time.
Oh,
So,
I got a grievance.
go for it.
They're digging up my street to lay a water main. So yesterday they started at 7 a.m. Fuming. Everybody, they blocked half the people on one side of the street in. I understand why. Like I said, it's been in the 90s. It was like close to 100 today. You know, you don't want to be out there in that sun all day, but what the fuck?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
But I swore there was like a code that you couldn't start construction before it was 8 or 9 in the morning until sunset, basically. Or actually, it's 9 o'clock at night.
Somebody asked if Keith will be here. You better show up next week there, Forrest. It's the Gen Con preview review.
Oh, that was this week.
No, Keith's showing up next week, and he's always the MC. So Collins of Keith will be here next week. Plus,
of Keith.
but then also that means Aldi will be here too. So
Yeah, Aldi should be back unless he's sick.
yeah,
He's got to get out more, interact with people.
I have no opinion on any of the SDJ winners because I haven't played any of them. So
Yeah,
congratulations to them all, however.
Magic Maze is fantastic. Or not Magic Maze, what the hell is it? The Kinder.
The Kinder.
Magic Witches. The Witch Game.
Which game? Yeah, that sounds right.
It's really, really good.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that one. Me and my kids love it. Fantastic.
Aaron asked, "Who's your favorite wrestler?" There can be only one answer to who's your favorite
right
wrestler.
now.
Well, no, and that is Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah, there is only one Macho Man.
Undertaker.
Ah,
He was the first wrestler I ever saw too. I remember staying up late and watching him come down there. He was the $1 Million Man's like special guest. It was the first time I ever watched wrestling. It was my dad's pay-per-view night with his buddies. And yeah, was hooked ever since then.
I never really got into it.
Take her into that ring and I give him the elbow of doom. It's gonna be all over.
I actually saw that movie Roddy Piper was in with the aliens. What the hell was it called? That was up on the TV the other day. I didn't watch it though. What the hell was that name of that movie?
No idea. Oh, They Live?
Yeah, that one. I couldn't remember the name. Yeah, but Roddy Piper. What was his name?
Roddy Piper. Yep, that's
Rowdy Roddy Piper. Yeah,
Roddy Piper.
the hot rod.
The hot rod. That guy was flat out insane. So when Monday Night Nitro was in the in Fargo at the Fargo Dome, like they like he had some deal where he was, you know, like I don't know. The whole premise was they had him arrested by the Fargo police or whatever for like trespassing, and they had him handcuffed and they were dragging him away, and then they like I was talking to the pizza place I worked at after I'd gone to the Monday Night Nitro the night before. He was like, yeah, it was hilarious. He said like he was just sitting there talking to us the entire time. He's like, okay, guys, so after you handcuff me, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to let me like accidentally let one of my wrists not be handcuffed. So I break free of the handcuffs so I can race over there and I can grab Eric Bischoff and start strangling him. And then you guys got to drag me away from him. And then you handcuff me. And then you got to let Eric Bischoff punch me in the face a couple of times. You know, it was just like, it was just like, you know, let me get at him one more time, you know, after he was handcuffed. Let me get after him one more time. So he broke free from like the 8 cops that are holding him back. And he, you know, got over there close enough to like, you know, headbutt Eric Bischoff and stuff. But yeah. One of the last interviews Roddy Piper gave was he was talking about how the wrestlers need to be able to form a union and be able to like work together, because instead of being like, because he said that basically just like Time Immemorial management kind of tries to split everybody up so nobody ever works together, right? And so so one of the things was he said that he even said, he's like, and they're like, well, he's like, I'm not doing this for me. I'm not trying to get like health benefits for me or anything. He's like, I was in movies, you know, I got a Screen Actors Guild card and stuff like that. He's like, and besides, he said, you know, I'm not going to live to see 65. And he was like 62, and he was dead within 3 months of that interview. So yeah, no, good stuff. Somebody mentioned that he and the Big Show are always super cool with people in public. And this is a young Big Show. This would be WCW Hog Wild when I was working at Sturgis.
Is that the one with the was that the one where he was in the monster truck? Is that Hog?
No. So basically he was the champion, and then Hogan and the NWO chumped him out and cheated to get the belt that night. But I remember I was a shift cook. I was a shift supervisor cook for the Hooters tent, you know, because I had worked at Hooters and I was like running the shift, and then and I had just kind of, because the where they had the wrestling matches was right behind us. And so I had gotten up on top of an 18-wheeler, like one of our reefer trucks that kept all our stuff inside. I got in one of those just to watch it. I was just sitting up there, you know, drinking beer or whatever. And then they got done with the pay-per-view and I got done. I was walking, and he all of a sudden I heard this impossibly low voice like yell, and it was Paul White, and the giant. And he was like, and he said, hey. It's like, I was like, hey. I turned on, I was like, yeah. And he's like, I saw you up there drinking beer. And I was like, yeah, you got an extra one? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And I gave him one. And then we ended up like kind of just standing back by this little fence, and everybody was like kind of talking, and then we all started talking and stuff like that. And Paul White, I mean, and admittedly, he was like, whatever, he was probably like 24, 25 at the time. I forget what the girl's name was, one of the waitresses. And he was like, dude, you know, it's like, introduce me to her. Just like, and then he was like, tell her I'm at this room at the hotel. And I was like, sure, you betcha. But yeah, no, that was a million years ago.
You are old.
That's like 26 years ago.
No.
Holy crap, that is a long time ago.
That was a long time ago, old man.
You know, it's a long time because he's actually legitimately retired from wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's in the AEW now, and he shows up and does a thing or two every once in a while.
Yeah, but he doesn't wrestle. He just talks.
Yeah, he like they say, you know, one more match, right? You know, that's just like 73-year-old
Oh my
73-year-old Ric Flair. Woo!
Yeah.
One more match.
Yeah.
One more match. 73 years old.
He's
You
doing
know,
another one?
July 31st, baby.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't even look like that exciting of a match either.
Yeah,
Over
but you'll be
73,
able.
how exciting could it be?
Oh, yeah, how excited can it be for 73, right?
Yeah, it's a fair point. That's
Yeah.
Well,
no, good
look at
stuff.
Tyson. He's in his 60s, right? 50s. He's fighting a
He's
couple times.
beast still though. He looks.
I was saying he was on mushrooms when he fought Floyd, was it that last one? He was doing shrooms the whole time. I was like, Jesus.
I would assume he could still punch my face square off of my body.
Oh, somebody on a plane found out not too long ago.
Yeah, amazing.
You poke the bear. What the fuck do you expect?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what are you gonna do?
No, I poked the bear.
Not someone on a plane, especially not Mike Tyson. I mean,
Yeah, really.
Trying
Oh,
to remember.
he's a sociable guy, so it's kind of hard. It's kind of easy to forget what he actually was, you know.
Like basically the scariest man ever, you know?
Yeah, he's really he can be now, but I mean, you know, for the most part, he's pretty affable now.
Pretty affable. Well,
Until you fuck with him too long, and then you get the shit kicked out of you on a plane.
well, what was that? Wasn't it some guy who was just drunk and being belligerent, and then
Yeah.
he was just
Oh, he had it.
Yeah, he just kept messing with him. And messing
nobody
with him.
ever has violence coming.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, well, I won't say never, but you
when
know,
you put your hands on somebody else, I mean,
well, okay. I mean, I don't know the story, but if he was just being boisterous and like saying, you know, screw you, you suck. I mean, no, that's not okay. Now you get the fists, you know. I'm no non-spoilers commentary about The Boys. I got through the season 3. Very good. I feel it does exactly what you know. I can't say anything else. I think it. I think
I'm only one episode in. Don't say
The
it.
first 5 minutes of that first episode was a little weird, but
well,
yeah.
I mean, here's the deal. The show has a lot of shock value stuff going on.
It does.
But it's doing a good job, and it's better than the comic book, which is rare. Usually the comic book is much better than the because you can tell such a bigger, better story, right? With hundreds and
different
hundreds
medium.
of pages. But yeah, it's doing a better job as far as that goes.
Well, there's only one more, right?
Yeah, that's okay. So I mean, well, I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to say anything about the thing.
Yeah.
Not gonna say a dang word.
Move
Just
it
watch
on.
it.
Move
Watch
it
it. It's
along.
good. Watch it. It's good. Well, it's not my fault. Watch it.
I got a baby, man. My wife's super tired. Like she
No.
literally was just like, "Yeah, we're not gonna be able to watch TV shows in the evenings for a while."
So you watch it with us?
For another year.
No, we watch it together. It's our thing.
Yeah. Jen's like that. She'll get mad if you don't.
That's why they have the function of remove this from my watch. They have that option now. You can just.
I'd rather not lie to my wife, Lance.
Yeah, really.
Call me crazy.
No, well, it's not lying. It's just omitting. It's an omission.
No mitting.
Which is a fancy word for
Lying.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was lying.
It's an omission.
well, it's leaving
That's all
it out,
is.
which is a fancy word for consciously leaving it out, lying.
Whatever. Everybody's got an answer. What did Mike Tyson say? Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
That's one of my all-time favorite quotes by him.
Yeah.
The guy said, "Oh, what do you think his plan is to take you on, Mike?" And he's like, "Plan?" It's like, I don't know what his plan is. Well, I mean, don't you think he's got a plan? Well, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. It's like, Then he went out and like beat the guy in 87 seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
Just like,
Oh wow, Pathfinder Revolution is not funded yet. What?
no, it's I mean, and I love Philip DeBerry, and
Card game?
I love the original. I love the original Revolution. It's one of my it's like it's a 9.5, for me, because of the bluffing, because of the negotiation, because of the whole. I mean, it really took rock, paper, scissors and made it absolutely amazing. And the thing is that theme does nothing for anybody. Nobody plays Pathfinder anymore. I mean, if you want, I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I know a lot of people don't really care about role playing games, but when D&D went from 3.5 to 4th edition, basically 4th edition had mass market appeal, but not enough to like really like blow up D&D to where it is now. And Pathfinder was crunchy and like it was just basically a better rule set. It was 3.5 D&D, but it was just better in so many different ways. And so Pathfinder exploded. Paizo and Pathfinder just absolutely exploded at that point, and everybody. I mean, basically there was everybody who wanted to play like a true D&D experience played Pathfinder, and everybody who was like playing, like I said, like this mass market weird World of Warcraft amalgamation RPG was playing 4th edition D&D. And what happened was 5th edition, they realized what they did, so they took a little bit of stuff out of 4th, took a lot of stuff out of 3 and 3.5, jammed them together and made 5th edition. And then obviously the ball started rolling down the hill. And then Pathfinder, Paizo had sworn that they were never going to do another edition. Pathfinder was just going to be what they did. They were never going to change it, which was dumb. You never say something like that. They did Pathfinder 2nd edition, and it basically is like a wet fart in church. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to play it. I mean, it's got its following, but it's nowhere near what D&D. So for you to say, hey, here's our new Revolution game that was an incredibly solid game, but I mean, it was a lot of fun, but it's negotiation, it's bidding, it's rock, paper, scissors. You've already minimized the number of people that are going to be interested in that game by what it is. You've saddled it with a theme that nobody cares about. I mean, like I said, Philip DeBerry is one of my absolute best friends in the board game industry, but I feel bad about that. I feel bad. I mean, it'll fund. I'm sure it'll fund. I'm sure it'll like, wheeze and gasp its way over the finish line, and it'll get made.
Wheeze and gasp and
you know what I mean? Just like, yeah.
Have either of you played Moonrakers, by the way?
No, but I did watch the James Bond movie. I did say a night at a Holiday Inn Express.
I just was shocked. It's made $1.1 million.
I'm trying to remember if I watched a video on that or not.
Yeah,
what was it? Was it a card game first?
No, it's a deck. I don't know. I've never played it. I did the Kickstarter video for it today, but it's just
to quote.
I don't remember.
To quote my boss, I never have any goddamn clue what anybody's going to like. It's just, it feels like it's just throwing money up. Like you have no idea. Yeah, I mean, the first one raised almost $500,000, right? And then so they just kind of, and it must have had enough juice for people to be like interested in it. So,
well, the returning backers, they got 3,300 people as of today that were just returning backers to get the 3 expansions in the big box. So apparently it was very well received.
Well, they had, like I said, they almost had 5,000. So, I mean, but it's just, that's what it is. It's like, if you have something that has 5,000 people, and I mean, I don't know. I mean,
well, but if it's good, it has to be good. Like, that's the thing. You see a lot of second editions. When I see like 200 returning backers for the first edition, I'm like, that's like I saw one earlier this week, and it's just like the rules apparently were horse shit, and it's like it means a lot to me when I see that big of a number that are just returning, and they're like,
well, I mean, and that's pretty ingenious too. It's like $114 to get a giant box and some expansion stuff, and they got 3,600 people that are willing to do that. So, I don't know.
and shipping was ridiculous too. $15, like that is bananas.
It's just a bunch of cards, you know.
Well, but it's that box. That box is huge.
Yeah,
Like at the Talus Certa box, I'm pretty sure.
Well, but it doesn't matter. It's still, I mean, yeah, there's a little, but even that, I mean, it doesn't cost. Well, let's put it this way. They're subsidizing some of that shipping with the $114.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
undoubtedly.
Yeah. So I mean, which is a dangerous game to play in this day and age. That is a dangerous game to play. Just charge what it costs to ship and then move forward. Yeah. You're just but no, good for them. I mean, good for them and good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Facebook advertising. So I see that game all the time, and he was in the chat today, and he was like, "Yeah, boatloads of Facebook advertising."
Oh yeah, our Facebook ads are the only way to go. I mean, and I'm not saying this again to try to take money out of anybody else's pockets, but if you are running a Kickstarter and you're not throwing money at Facebook ads, you are a fool. You're a fool, Harry Potter. You're a fool.
Harry Potter too.
Yeah, that too. I found it interesting that Ant Lab Games had a quote. I thought somebody had put the final clump of dirt on that channel, but apparently they managed to soldier through their whoopsie doodles.
People forget.
Everybody moved on.
Nobody cares.
Nobody
There's
cares.
a new controversy every other day on Twitter, every other day on Facebook.
Every con.
Have you ever been at the center of one of those, Jeremy? Or not? Sorry, Lance.
Just, I mean, one a long ass time ago. I'm yesterday's news though.
What was it? Just got a curiosity.
I've talked about it. It was the fact that they somebody found out that I took like $200 for a video, and then they were just like, "Oh, he's obviously for sale." And then there was like a 27-page conversation about it on BGG.
We all know you're a shill.
It was literally like 10 years ago.
I was gonna say that had to have been ages ago.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now they're all bought and sold. Hey, look, here it is. Bought and sold Jeremy Howard.
Speaking of Jeremy and Forrest for that matter.
it's a 2D image of Jeremy just standing there with a smile.
What are you talking about?
It started on Ant Lab Games and how controversy just dies out after a while.
Yeah, I mean,
back to Atlantis.
No, Ant Lab had their little run in with their ridiculousness and stuff.
The industry, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what were you talking about? Oh, your little whatever.
Oh, my dust up from like 10, 12 years ago.
Whatever. Who cares?
Nobody cares.
Nobody
cares.
Nobody cares.
Everybody
nobody cares, but everybody who does wants 15 disclosures before you say anything about the game.
Holy,
I just realized that that's what this is now. Like, now we have to even explain how we bought the game at this point. Like,
yeah, no, this Moonraker's Kickstarter page though is 11 miles long.
It is, and I actually I feel like they did that to hide the amount of components you're actually getting for the $115. I feel like they spaced it out really well.
No, they did a really good job with the visuals on that shit. Jesus Christ. But
yeah,
they like know how to take pictures, man. They like their presentations are just excellent. They're crazy.
Well, that's because board games isn't their bread and butter. This is like their company's really fascinating. When I was reading the thing about it, it's like,
yeah, I've been in their studio.
I want to show Jeremy my new favorite shirt.
Oh my God.
You'll get nothing like it.
Nothing.
Yeah. It just popped in my Facebook memory because I think around this time, I'll wait till he comes back. But yeah, I visited their studios. Pretty cool. How you been, man?
How you been, Mr. I
Oh.
took a break from doing any media for
Yeah, man.
because you're too good. You're too good for
stop.
it.
I'll stop.
Keeps mental sanity.
No, man. I've just been busy, kind of doing some other business and stuff, and then just
Business.
just business.
I hear Anthony Ricano applied to work for you.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, so you must have hired him. The way you're talking.
I will tell you though, man. Crazy when you do have jobs and you see the people that are applying, you're like, Jesus Christ, this is a carousel. And lots of very good applicants. So, and I only get 2 people. So, yeah. It's unfortunate. I mean, I even talked to a lot of people who didn't have experience that sounded pretty good. So it was like, and then you got some heavyweights in there that low key wanted to come into the fold. So,
they wanted to come into the fold.
Yeah. So I really do. I appreciate that. I appreciate people like would even consider working with me. So, and yeah, everything else is feeling good.
Oh, yeah, come on. Well, Dish, who all apply for jobs?
Oh my God, I can't disclose who applied for the job, you asshole. How dare you?
How dare you?
I can't disclose the bourbon I'm having tonight. Now, this one right here is
it Old Crow?
No, it is called Bardstone. And I got pitched this by, like, I don't know if you have Total Wine where you're at. Total Wine is pretty much everywhere at this point.
Yeah.
But Total Wine, we
don't have Total Wine up here.
He's like,
we have
dude,
culture.
I have to. He's like, I have to pitch this to you. Try it out. It's affordable. It's like $60. So I gave it a run. I'm giving it a run.
Okay.
All right. Not my normal, but I will give it a try. Tonight we will be indulging in that and we'll see how it goes.
Hey, look, everybody. Matthew Paquette's here after he had a very stern talk with his partner about their Gen Con plans coming up. Yeah, he's drinking too. See, I told you he had a.
It's been a day, Lance.
Yeah, I can understand that when you didn't realize how excited they were that you were going to be leaving town. I'll kill you.
You already kicked me out of the house during the day. What else do you want?
Yeah. I didn't even say this. So yeah, right now, like, my life's actually in a little bit of upheaval. My daughter's birthday is on Friday, so like but we can't do anything because she runs the spotlights and does a bunch of tech stuff for the musical right now. So like we really can't do anything for her birthday, so we got to wait until next week. But that and my wife and I were considering selling this house and buying another one, and then we couldn't find something we wanted, and we wanted to build, and we couldn't find a place to build, and so we were saving up money, and finally, like, my wife was like, let's just try to make this place look nicer over the next couple of years, and then when we find something we really want that we could sell for more. Long story short, I got guys in my backyard all day long tearing up my lawn, putting in a patio and a concrete patio and putting in a shed slab. I'm gonna we're gonna build a giant shed in the back, like a 16-foot by 12-foot shed. So my wife doesn't really know what she wants to do with it, but we're gonna.
I was gonna say, is that the new home of the Alaboom?
No, I mean,
yeah.
I think she wants it as like a place that, like, if she
your
wants
board
to, she
games
can
are
go
going.
there. No, she would no.
That's your office.
That would never happen. She would never, because I think she wants it as kind of like a place where she
wants a she den. I get it.
A shelf.
A she cave.
It's called a shouse. No, she wants
a
she
shed.
She shed. That's the commercial. Jen bugged the hell out of me with that for months.
So
I couldn't remember what it was.
No, she just wants it to be able to like, just like have like, if she wants to put like her Peloton in there and
What'd you say, 16 by 20?
16 by 12.
That's a good size.
That's a
Yeah.
great size.
Yeah, I thought he said 20. That'd be a good workshop.
So yeah,
Yeah,
no, they're
great
all
size.
they're they're
Cool.
just they're tearing up my backyard. And then but so the thing is that we live on like a third of an acre basically in town, which is like ridiculous. It's huge. So like I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna use up all this spot. And then I've seen the spots where they basically ripped up all the ground and like still have like all this grass. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, my backyard's huge. So which isn't a bad thing, I guess. That's good. But yeah, no, it's but anyway, that's going on, and I'm just sitting there looking at the thousands of dollars of work that's being done. But,
Speaking of real estate, I think I found an office space.
yeah.
Ooh.
Does it have a place for you to sleep? Because you'll be asked if you could just stay
There will be a
overnight, or-
couch.
Oh yeah. Fair enough.
It's gonna
It's
be mad.
huge, actually.
It's gonna be mad
massive. It's like-
Sexton. Who's he kidding?
It's like almost 900 square feet.
Oh wow,
Yeah, that's pretty big,
that's
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to be splitting it with my buddy Ryan, who just had a Kickstarter launched yesterday.
Okay.
The Quad Heroes Kickstarter.
Oh, Ryan Eller. Yeah. Oh, that jokester,
Yeah,
man.
so
I miss
he's in
that guy.
town here.
Oh, is he? Okay.
So we'll have 2 offices, and then there's probably 12 by 24 room that we can do whatever in, shoots, gaming, whatever. So
Yeah.
I'm jazzed, and it's super close to my parents' place, which is handy because they're both over 80 now.
Good for them.
Yeah,
So Matt has a place to stay when his wife kicks him, or his partner kicks him
yeah.
out.
That's why I had to go find a co-working space, because she kicked me out during the day. She's like, "You need to go find somewhere to work during the day.
Yeah.
It can't be here."
Yeah.
We've been doing this for 2 years, both of us in the house all the time together.
No, just no go.
Yeah.
I would just stay downstairs. I have an area, and that is clearly my office. The tax man could come down here, and it is my office. It's just it's another sector of the house away from my wife, that she can work in her area.
I actually disassembled my gaming table because it was basically my cat's bed for the last 2 years.
Oh my
And
God.
Gretchen's she's almost 20 years old, so her bladder is not
Ooh.
fully
Yeah.
in control.
Yeah.
Nothing ever happened, thank God, but I just took the chance at it.
but can get a little comfortable on those gaming tables. I've seen my cat get a little too comfortable on the game table. I'm like, hey, what you doing, man? Take your ass to the litter box. Take your ass to the litter box. I'm telling you. Hey, I have gone to IV Studios. Speaking of shit, they had me come out there and do some promo camera stuff with all the people, the names.
Another show.
Real,
Goddamn.
yeah, dude, they are.
Oh,
They
for the
are
Mystic
like-
Mischief thing. I remember that.
Yeah, they do. They
Sorry,
run
can I say one
top-notch
thing?
ass or like straight up. Their studio is not like, some tech company studio, but like inside there. Holy shit. Like they know how to make a space, and they know how to film, and they know how to edit, and they're very much ahead of the curve. And it's definitely that they show their signs of just not being norms in the industry. Very much like Orange Nebula is very much like that too. They're not really, they're kind of out of the box. They don't really go for traditional stuff. And that's why they do so well. It's
Yeah.
honestly,
I don't want to talk out of the side of my mouth here, but somebody said, "Oh, another shill," and I was just like, I'm stunned. It hasn't reached out to me. I'm stunned. I haven't heard from John Rott to say, "Hey, when's the next boom gonna be?" He's got a Kickstarter. He's got like 300,000 for a bunch of mystery dice.
Yeah, for the dice. Yeah, the mystery dice. I saw that. It was a big launch.
Yeah, good for him.
what
Is
is
there
this?
really
Mystery
that much
dice?
money in dice still? I mean,
Oh, dude, shit. Yeah.
really?
Everybody's everybody's got a pile of dice, and
Do
if
it.
somebody says you want some dice for $10, you're like, yeah, give me some dice for $10.
You know
It's
what?
not
I
even
have
dice,
I have like a $110 set of dice that I somehow decided I wanted to buy. I can't even fucking find them right now. I don't even know.
So
All I know is they're in a good case sitting somewhere in this basement. Like
Yeah,
I'm
worth that
probably
$110.
everybody
I'm
has
probably
dice.
going to for a year-end gift for my team. I'm probably looking at some of the level up dice, a set of level up dice, and a wormwood vault or something.
So
Oh,
you
yeah,
know what?
I can
You know
understand.
that.
That's like gifts, but I
Yeah.
when I got married, I went to I can't even remember the name of the company, but basically I went and I bought expensive dice sets, like the stuff made out of precious material, like what's the name of that company, and they're smaller than normal because it's tough, it's more difficult to find a garnet that you can make an actual die out of, that sort of thing. Why can't I think of the name of that company?
Norse Foundry? No.
Essex?
No, it was probably Chessex, but I mean, yeah,
Well, there's a bunch of people that do the semi-precious stones.
I would say precious stones. I bought they were all like $75.
Yeah, that's
Sets
what I'm
of
looking
dice.
at.
Yeah, and I was like, and I just that's like, I got that as
That's cool.
the gifts. Yeah, no,
It's
they're all
accessories though. Accessories is like literally a license to print money.
yeah.
yeah. Why actually make a game anymore? just make something to put your.
Yeah.
I've got to get Noah from Game Trays on here to talk to him. I spoke to him for like
It's too dark.
Yeah,
I spoke
no,
to
it's
him-
like they're obsidian dice. They're
Oh, those are beautiful. Yeah, I was looking at those.
yeah, buddy.
I'd never be able to
They're
see them.
slick.
Are those the
I-
raised ones? Do they have the
What are they
raised
gonna
raised
use?
letters?
Yeah,
Oh, sweet.
they're slick, dude.
Yeah, they're
Hey,
nice, but I
anyway.
never use them. I
Oh,
wouldn't be able to
excuse me.
see them.
I'm a
My whole
bragger.
point, I was trying to convince Noah. I was like, because he's doing all that. He does all the custom game trays for everybody, which is awesome and stuff like that.
Yep.
He has a few things, like a few game trays things that like he sells them through the Board Game Geek store and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was like, Noah, just go to Kickstarter. It's like literally there's a pile of cash right outside your window. You just need to open it
Yeah.
up and stick the shovel out
Yeah,
and start throwing it back in. I was like, just I said,
Yeah,
come up
but-
with 4 new designs that are specifically made for
Yeah.
like the different size boxes, and just make them in such a way it's like, like, hey, I made this little like spot here that obviously you can put cards in and that'll work. And here I made this spot. I divided this top layer up here into 5 different spots that are perfect for putting cardboard.
what would you say is the most common amount of cards? So a deck of cards.
But here's the deal. It's like
Like if you made like a set, like you know what I'm saying? Like you say, hey, okay, you would make something that's like this right here. So you have these. You have these right here. So you have the 3 spots.
yeah,
You might have something nice and smooth like that, nice little different little twist to it.
but
And then you throw a couple of those in the box, and then you probably want to have some kind of, hey,
But I was
these are
like-
what you would put cards in,
I was like, and what
200
are-
cards.
and what are the standard? There's basically 3 standard
Yeah,
dimensions. I'm not talking depth. I'm talking like
Side, yeah.
like side.
Yeah.
The depth ranges, because if it's a big game, you're going to be like,
Yeah.
deeper and stuff like that.
Mini
But
poker
like
tarot.
there's the square.
Ticket to Ride.
There's
Yeah.
the Ticket to Ride square.
Pandemic.
There's the pandemic or for later a Yokohama rectangle, like the bigger rectangle, and then the smaller Splendor rectangle.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 sizes that everybody has. And I guess there's the small square too, but there aren't a lot of games that use the small square.
Yeah, the Cosmos 2-player line kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, and honestly, it's like, yeah, you make those 3 and you just, and you make them. So it's like, and
Here's
you
an idea.
make, yeah. And
What
I
if-
was like, if you do it, I get 1%. I said, if you do this, I get 1%.
What if in the Kickstarter he showcases the different layouts, and it's like, here's the insert holding this game, and here's the insert
Yeah,
holding this game.
Exactly. Here's
Here's
the
the
insert
holding
holding
this-
Ticket to Ride. You know, and it's
Well,
like, and look how it's only this deep, so the board sits right on top of it. You're good to go.
All you have to do is open every box by Mayfair Games and say, hey, you can put whatever you want in its boxes because there's nothing but room in that motherfucker. Or you can do like Rio Grande, like
Well, I mean, it just
lots of space for components to put components in, no insert. So I have Space Station Phoenix, no insert, just a whole bunch of stuff, you know. So there's plenty of opportunity for that. Just even if you have some, not all. I wish there was just a better option for just cards as a whole, just cards. So they're not.
Like, what do you mean, like a
like
deck
so they're not
box?
flop around, like something like is there a such thing as like a card case?
Deck box, yeah.
Like not a deck box though.
Not a deck
So
box.
let's say I had like Nemesis, right? Nemesis has a couple hundred cards.
Okay.
Without having a custom Nemesis box, like that they've made custom game.
Right.
Could there be some kind of deck enclosure thing that's like, hey, this is for standard, hey, this is for whatever, and it'd be more so for inside of a box for presentation, not necessarily like, oh yeah, I can just buy a whole bunch of deck boxes and put them in there.
You mean
Like-
kind of like a comic box would be for comics?
Oh yeah,
I don't know what that is. What is it?
but it'd be for a deck of cards. Yeah,
The comic boxes are basically about that
Yeah.
wide,
yeah.
that long, and
Mhm.
then they just hold like
Right.
like LPs you'd see
Right.
like the record store.
Oh, okay.
So it's
okay.
like, yeah, so I'm thinking something like that, or like even if it's like it's like this, but it'd be like thicker, and then you can
Yeah.
put like a deck as if it was like a shuffle deck where you can stick your
The
finger.
problem-
You know, I'm just trying to think of something that'd be like, hey, this is like a cool standardized thing where you can put 50 to 100 cards in each thing, and then it would all, you close this thing on top and you can put it inside the box.
The challenge would be that
Like a
so
deck
many-
box that opens on
every
the
game
side.
is different size, right? So every game would have
Yeah.
anywhere
but
between
the-
50 and
but Matt-
2,000
but Matt-
cards.
But the
Okay,
cards
we
are
can make-
basically
we
the
can make
same.
it for okay, so like if I say, hey, I'll do that, but I'll make it for 100, 200,
Sure.
and 500 cards, right? And then no, that's all I got. I mean, 200, 500 cards. Yeah, that's all I got. You put that shit inside the box.
Okay, I have a hot take.
Fire.
People are harder to impress for a game than they are for an accessory.
I believe that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think for so long, well, I think part of the reason why, especially for board games, is up until like
Really
years
different. Like the difference is huge.
Yeah.
I think.
But think about the component quality and the box insert quality 10 years ago or 15
Yeah.
years ago. Like,
Oh,
Whereas-
remember
That's why I said
you get a
Mayfair Real
fantasy
Grande.
flight game, and the first thing you did was take the carbon out and throw it
Right,
out the
just
window.
toss it, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
so our
So, okay,
standards are
okay.
just so low that it's
Pushback.
like anything.
Pushback.
It's like, ooh, wow, cool. This is way better than just a box full of Ziploc bags.
Yeah, but
So,
like
outside
accessories,
of-
is like shittily designed. If that's a word. Accessories.
Yes, it is. It's now. It's in.
It's a scientific word.
Like do so well, and I look at these things. I'm like, how the fuck can this thing be making $1 million or whatever it is?
People are keeping up with the Joneses. That's all it is. It's, look
No,
at my
well,
new
I'll
bling.
say it like this. So
You
there's a
know,
product.
it's-
There was a product that came out last year, right at the end of the year. It's called Radlands.
Yeah,
So Radlands have these fucking insane cards,
yeah.
you know, and then also Too Many Bones has their PVC card, those cards that are water case, and people still want to sleeve that shit. I don't know why. People want to still sleeve their Radlands cards, even though you can bend them like this and nothing will happen to them. They flop right back. So there's a reason to protect cards as an accessory, and it may save the sleevers. I don't know. I feel like you could pitch it because people want to protect their product beyond protecting miniatures, right?
Evolution of something like that, I think,
Right.
is fantastic.
Yeah,
You know,
I think so.
I think
Well, I put it like this: if somebody's got a solution, it's fucking Noah. Okay, that's why they pay him the big bucks. He comes up with solutions.
I found out that up until not so long ago, he was doing all this shit in his garage.
Oh,
wow.
Noah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then he
like
he
making
moved.
thousands of trays for XYZ game.
Yeah. Have
Yeah.
you never been to Noah's house?
Me, no.
Oh, if you ever get a chance, go to Noah's
I see
house.
pictures.
I like how you just assume, like, what? You've never been to this person's house before?
Everybody's been to Noah's house. Like if you say this, like literally, it's one of those things where if you start talking to somebody, you're talking about, oh yeah, I was carrying Francine the pig around, and they're like, oh, you've been to Noah's house.
I know
Okay.
Bryce better than
Yeah, I was
know
gonna say,
Noah.
oh yeah, he's in Italy. Yeah, I've been to his house. It's right down the road. Fuck.
Yeah, no. I mean, Noah's house.
Stamp your passport, dude.
If you ever went to Geekway,
Yeah.
like and you knew anybody at some point, everybody's like, yeah, everybody's going to Noah's.
Oh yeah.
Because I was just like, and so you went to Noah's and you went there, and
You went
that's how I
there.
I went there. I accompanied he who shall not be named, who's been drummed out of the industry,
wow.
who said, yeah, there's going to be a get together there. And I went there and there's a ton of people there. And then this guy said, yeah, I know, I live here. And I was like, oh, it's nice to meet you. And then he said, here, hold on a second. Then he went into a room and he came out with a giant pig and he handed it to me. And he was like, this is Francine. And then and I was like, cool. And then he took a picture of me holding Francine, and then he took me outside and he was like, these are all my chickens. And then we fed his chickens for a while, and like he's like a total Renaissance man. Like he just knows all this stuff. And then he was like, do you want to, he went and he grabbed a couple of beers for both of us, and he was like, hey, you want to check out where I do all my game tray stuff? And I was like, that'd be amazing. And so then he and I went into his garage, and he just, for about 2.5 hours, he showed me the whole process of how he makes all of his game trays and stuff.
That's a complex operation right there.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Well, everybody else was like hot tubbing and playing Rockstar and or Rock Band, and
He went to the slow process of making this happen. You wanted to see how the whole sausage was made, huh?
oh yeah, no, and it was super cool. Even like
I'm sure it's cool.
all the different
Yeah, I'm sure it's
different molding machines that he had and everything else like that. And he cranked one up and he was like showing me how he does it, and I was just like, it was fascinating. Plus, I got to like hang out. And I got to feed a pig, and
So that's always fun.
yeah. that
What's
was
the
fun.
pig? He was talking about a pig the other day. What was her name?
What's Noah going to do with the pig when he dies?
Well, no, he'll ask, like, when somebody says, hey, we're gonna go eat, you want to grab it? And he's like, do they serve Francine there? Because he will not touch anything with pork. He's like,
Really?
And honestly, if I that damn pig of his was one of the nicest, kindest, most gentle creatures I've ever been around, and was just super snuggly and intelligent.
They're
and
smart animals.
I've
Yeah.
never
and I was just
met
like,
two people who've had pigs, and they've always been cute and kind. So
So
yeah, and I'm just kind of like,
so
yeah.
the cow to an extent, but we put them suckers down.
But a cow doesn't hop up on a couch and curl up in your lap and take a nap.
When they're
now
young, they might.
I will tell you, the wild card pet is definitely goats. I have no idea why people trust goats. Those motherfuckers are wild.
Yeah, they are.
Like,
They are.
they are wild. When I see someone, if I see someone even try to sell me on a goat, I'm not coming to their crib.
I thought about a miniature ago for a little bit.
I have at least heard of someone having a llama. I have at least heard of someone having an alpaca.
I'm waiting for you to get a llama or an alpaca.
I will have an alpaca in my house before I die. You hear me? I need alpaca energy, but I have too many freaking animals in my house at this point right now. So I don't think another animal is going to be allowed, especially one that's 100 pounds more than my freaking dog. My biggest dog is almost 100 pounds. So, and he's a puppy. So I'm good. I think I'm good for a while. Hey,
I'll just shake my head slowly in your direction.
Is Aldi coming?
He's on the
He's on a boat.
He what?
He's on a boat. The cruise, the boat.
Going fast, and
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I would laugh if Jerry's like, well, I'm out. Just
Hey guys. No,
I hear my wife.
Oh, I just got a call. I gotta go. Sorry.
Hey guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta go make love to my wife. Come right back.
Be back in 2 minutes.
I'll be right back.
That would be no, that would the what is that? That's the last line from Clue.
That is the
like,
last line from the last.
I heard they're doing a remake of that.
Clue.
yeah, it's just like
They already remade Clue. They already remade
No, I
it.
mean an
that
actual
one movie. What was that movie? Knives Out. They did a great job.
Yeah, they did, but I mean an actual remake
Didn't
named
finish that
Clue.
They actually made some kind of. Wasn't there like a sequel, but it wasn't like a sequel. It was the same like sort of premise in a different place.
Was it? I don't remember that.
No, let me see if I can find it. I feel
I
like
liked the what is it, the whole in the movie Clue, it's like 1 + 1 + 2 + 1. No, it's 1 + 1 + 2 + 2 + 1. You know, they're arguing there are no bullets left in this gun. Shoots it straight into the sky.
This
Jesus,
one of Jen's favorite actors.
That
Jeremy,
would be
not Jeremy.
not Jeremy Irons. What are you, insane?
oh my
That'd
god.
be Martin Mull.
Martin Mull, my goodness.
And the other guy, he plays a villain all the time. He was the butler.
Yeah,
Okay,
he was the butler.
So Knives Out sequel.
Tim
is not out.
Tim
Tim
Curry?
Curry.
Curry,
Yeah.
not Tim
Oh
Robbins.
yeah. Who doesn't like Tim Curry? It's interesting. What age are you? Is the good way to tell what age you are is by how do you know Tim Curry?
Oh,
Like,
because if you're really old, you'll say Rocky
like
Horror
first
Picture
thing,
Show.
First thing that comes to mind. You know,
I've
You'll,
never-
you'll say Rocky Horror Picture
Yeah.
Show if you're really old.
Wise Guy
Wise guy.
Wise
yeah.
guy.
I'm trying to remember.
with Ken Wall. Remember that, sirs?
Yeah. Wasn't he in a
Long past.
pirate?
Don't you hurt her, Frankenfurter. I mean,
Home Alone.
obvious,
Oh,
Oh, yeah, Home Alone,
obvious
New York.
that would be Home
No.
Alone 2. Thank you.
Okay,
But no,
but-
obviously the correct answer to any of this is the Wild Thornberries. So there you go.
Oh my god.
Ah.
He's not doing so well now, too.
yeah, no, he's not. Jen looked him up because I was asking why he just disappeared. He's got some
Yeah.
severe health issues and all that.
Hey man, Gene Hackman. How about Gene Hackman? When you think of Gene Hackman, what movie do you think of?
Superman.
Hoosiers.
Connection.
Hoosiers.
Oh, how dare you with Superman?
Oh no, actually,
dare you.
the first movie I ever saw Gene Hackman in was The Conversation. So
Oh, that's a good movie.
that is an
amazing.
amazing movie, and if you haven't watched the Conversation,
That's actually the first movie I saw of it, Jeremy. Although, was he in the littlest whorehouse in Texas?
but you know what he was even better in though for that.
Might have been
though?
that, if he wasn't
No,
in it, I remember.
what is the movie about the civil rights in why can't I think of Burning?
Mississippi Burning.
Mississippi
Oh,
Burning.
that's-
Yeah.
Great movie.
He was
that
good
is
at
a- that-
Hoosiers.
Well, he was great in Hoosiers, great in
Yeah.
Hoosiers. But I remember Mississippi Burning when he goes into
Yeah, French
he goes
Connection.
into the hick cop
Yeah, the
bar
French Connection.
and just walks
Yeah.
in, and he's just like and he like just grabs himself a beer and like just starts and he's just there, he's just needling him, he's just daring him, daring them to like try to do something about him. And they
Okay.
oh,
So Robert De Niro, not the
Yes.
first movie you think of, second movie you think of. I think we all know. All right. What's the first movie you think of when you think of Robert De Niro?
Godfather 2, probably.
Right.
He
De Niro.
Weirdly, when I was a kid,
Well, I guess I don't get to answer the question, but go ahead.
Godfather stuff.
No, it was,
not like-
I'm going to ask a question, and then I'm going to wait for somebody to try to answer it. No, I'll just
Man, isn't that called the kettle black?
Oh, you're trying. Oh, I'm black. Okay. Anyway.
Hey, no, Jeremy.
Well, yeah,
Jeremy,
there's
I
that,
mean,
but it's an
but no, I
expression.
mean, Jeremy,
You know.
but in all seriousness, I mean, like, if you had, I mean, what's your favorite Star Trek movie, though?
I don't like the Star
Well,
Trek.
you know what I think about
Oh,
Star
God.
Trek.
Okay.
Well, what is yours, Lance?
My favorite Star Trek movie?
No, the De Niro.
My favorite Star Trek.
We
I mean,
all
the
know
first-
it's the second one. We're moving on from the Star Trek. Come on.
Well, no. I mean, as far as like, I mean, what I remember as a kid, like the first movie that I remember actually him being in, like actually like recognizing it and saying, "Wow," that was Untouchables for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
mean, as far as like
Yeah.
after I've gone back and really started to digest the stuff that he did, you know, you got to go back to Taxi Driver.
I was
Right.
just about to say. So
I don't
every
think I've
year,
ever seen that.
every year I watch Taxi Driver, and my wife cannot stand it. I'm like, well, tonight's the night I watch Taxi Driver. So you either are in or you're out. I'm watching.
And Mean Streets is really good too.
Mean Streets.
Raging Bull was really good.
And Raging Bull. Oh my
Raging
God,
Bull,
Raging
yeah.
Bull. Yeah.
God, he had a good like 15 years of just.
I just saw not too long ago. I just saw what's the fantasy movie he was in with the balloons and stuff? Golden Compass? Is that what?
Oh no. I know exactly what you're talking
yeah.
about. And he played
Oh.
the pirate and the
Yeah, it was so good.
it was so good.
That wasn't even.
I only recently saw it. I'm like, people kept talking about it. Like, yeah, fine, I'll watch it.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to look it up. I
Gold
can't-
Dust or Gold?
No, you're
Oh,
right
hold on.
there. It's like Spark. No, you're right there.
Stardust?
Stardust. There it is. There
It is Stardust, 2007. Never
And-
saw this.
And oh, that's a great
Excellent,
movie.
excellent movie.
That is a great movie.
Yeah?
That is a great movie. Yeah.
Surprised the fuck out of me.
Oh yeah. No, he plays I mean, not that it matters, but he plays a homosexual pirate, and it's like, and it's just a great movie. It's just
Gay pirates can pirate too. God damn it.
Oh yeah. Well, most
Pirates
pirates were
are
gay. I mean, go
Long
dive,
time
go
on a
dive,
boat,
go dive into like actual pirate life, and most of them were homosexual. I mean, again, it's a thing. You
Well, I
can.
never trusted Navy.
My bottle opener.
That's we're all over the place here. Okay, here's a good
It's
question.
off the rails early. It's off the rails early.
Wait, let
What
me
happens when you
ask-
start drinking on stream,
Okay,
right?
so let's talk
Damn.
mob movies. Let's talk mob movies, and let's talk mob movies that are off the beaten path a little bit. That like, I mean, so like Miller's Crossing by the Coen Brothers is an excellent mob.
Never saw it.
Oh, if you haven't seen Miller's Crossing,
Was-
it is the movie. Gabriel Byrne, how he did not get even nominated for best actor is like absolutely insane to me. Like he just, and it might just be one of those things where the role was written so perfectly, and then he was able to just do it so perfectly. So it might be one of those things. But
So-
Gabriel Byrne is basically a guy who like plays the Italian mob against the Irish mob back and forth.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it's just, and the I can't think of the like the script and the dialogue is just fantastic. So go ahead. But a really lesser known, maybe not, but I mean, it seems like when I tell people out there, like, I've never heard of it. Sean Penn,
Oh yeah,
State of Grace.
yeah, that was a good one.
And Sean Penn plays an undercover cop, like who grew up with a bunch of guys that were basically Irish gangsters, and then he goes away and nobody knows that he went away and became a cop, and he comes back and he infiltrates the Irish mob along with like, you know, his and I can't think of who's the guy who played basically the God figure in what was that movie with? Oh, God, I'm all over the place. I can't think of this thing. You haven't seen much of him lately, but he had a string there. He had a few years there where he played Jackson Pollock in the movie Pollock.
Ed Harris.
Ed Harris. Ed Harris
Yeah.
plays the guy that's in charge
Harris,
of the
yeah.
mob, and Ed Harris's son is played by the evil guy in Fifth Element. Why can't I think of his name now?
Owen.
Gary Oldman. Gary
Oldman.
Oldman plays
Oldman,
Ed
yeah.
Harris's younger brother, who's best friends with Sean Penn, who doesn't realize that Sean Penn. Everybody thinks Sean Penn went away and went to prison, but actually Sean Penn went away and became a cop. And he comes back and basically he ingratiates himself with his best friend Gary Oldman, who is the younger brother of. It's State of Grace.
Yeah.
Fantastic. It is a great, and State of Grace has one of the absolute best, this is the movie giant gunfights of it's so good. Anyway, now I gotta I gotta go to justwatch.com and find out where I can watch State of Grace so I can
Hey,
rewatch.
have you seen Eastern Promises?
Yes, with
I watched it on a plane.
With Vigo.
With Vigo, yeah. And
Vigo in his
he has
wheelhouse.
he has the fight scene, naked fight scene in the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a hard watch on the plane because I was turning my laptop a little bit.
I just thought
what's
about
that
that
on the
I'm like,
screen?
one of the first ones I thought of, just because I was just like, what are some of the mobs? But that one right there, because it was a Cronenberg film.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is
and then
great.
and Robin Wright plays the love interest of Sean Penn, and that's how they met, and that's how they got married
really?
in State of Grace.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Yeah, a very young, she gets naked. Robin Wright. If you want to see a young Robin
Robin's
Wright,
so right.
if that's your thing, right?
Robin always in her heyday. Right.
And so now I pull up.
She's still having her day right now.
I just went to justwatch.com and I looked up State of Grace, and it was like, State of Grace is not available for streaming on any platform at this time.
Oh, really?
Which never happens. That never happens. You can always rent it on Amazon or something, right? But nope.
I'm trying to think. There was one with Woody Harrelson, Kevin Costner, about Bonnie and Clyde. I think it was The Roadman. That was a pretty good mobster, off the beaten path one, I think.
Dude, was Vigo had another one.
Vigo, yeah, he had that where he was, and it was a fantastic, History of Violence.
History of Violence.
Oh, yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
let's go full Vigo. Are we going? Let's go down the Vigo catalog.
And so History of Violence was a absolutely fantastic graphic novel. And I had read it, and it's super, super good. And
you're blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, that movie almost hold on.
Cause violence.
No, and it's super good.
Well,
and
sure.
I thought they did hey, it's Alan Eggs Brown just is here, everybody. Alan Eggs Brown.
Oh, that guy.
Well, no, yeah. Well, like I said, we had a discussion at Dice Tower, and he agreed I was right. So, that eggs are the way to go at Wing Swing. So it was a good conversation. But anyway,
Eggs aren't real, Lance.
Yeah. Oh, History of Violence, also Ed Harris. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
what a time. You know what? By the way, what a time for movies. There was a nice little window in there, that 2005-ish time.
Yeah.
And we talked about this last week. We talked about how that basically, I predict that movie theaters will be dead in 5 years. Nobody will go into movie theaters.
You know what?
There will be a dying industry.
Lance, have you seen Black Phone?
Yes.
It's next on my list.
Okay. Is it really smart or not? Because I want to make sure I'm going to pay the $20.
It was very true to the original short story.
Okay.
And it's creepy as all fuck.
Oh, okay. We're gonna pay the $20. I mean, because it just
I mean, it's just so you know, it's like August 16th. It's going to be. I think it's going to be on HBO for free. So if you just want
Oh,
to
is
hold
it?
out, you know.
Okay, I'll hold out because like I want to go to the fucking movies. We're gonna go see Nope, and
Yeah, I'm waiting to see that one too.
like we
Looks
just
good.
it's something about I'll never get over going to the theaters, man. I think it's because when I was really young, we had this mall that was kind of dying, and it had a movie theater. It used to be a theater, so it was like a
A
theater.
no shit theater.
Yeah, that turned into a movie theater.
Oh wow.
But I mean, like when I say a theater, I mean like a theater. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
could have, it had like
Plays
two
and all.
screens. It had
Yeah.
2 screens, and I would since my neighbor's sister worked there, I could just watch movies all day, and we would just do that in summer. And I just got addicted to going to the movies, and my cousin would always take us to the movies. That's what they did as a family. Very boring.
Well, Forrest Bauer is the reason why Movie Pass went bankrupt.
Is that right?
Their
Right?
stock. I tried to keep them afloat, brother.
Hey, how's that stock doing, by the way?
Zero. That's why I quit doing stocks.
What did you invest in AMC?
No, Movie Pass.
Oh, it ain't gonna work out, bro.
No, well, I mean, he's
It
holding
didn't
out.
before the pandemic, let alone after.
Get one piece of stock in like Hulu or
Disney.
Disney, Hulu. Take that money, put a little extra money, get one stock of that, because that
Like
ain't working.
Jeremy.
I don't want to go down stocks and NFTs. I don't want to touch
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
I want to go down that
It's a sore
road.
spot.
I'm
Allow
not
me
gonna-
to change the top. No,
Yeah,
like
go
Jeremy,
ahead.
I'll always have a soft.
I'll
spot in my
always
heart
have my 1,000 shares of Movie Pass. No,
I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for movie theaters. I mean, I worked at a theater for, I don't know, 10 years,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it was for the longest time, it was my happy place. Just sitting in a movie.
Yeah.
I would go alone all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
It's just this zen feeling. It's just like, oh, this is nice.
You
I
know
mean,
who
like-
also liked
The
when
way
you left
movies
the
are supposed
house.
to be
You
experienced.
know,
Okay.
and to go to a movie
But
theater.
think about not just that. It's like then there was like the movie house that you go to. Like I had
Yeah.
we had this other one
Yeah.
that was called the Oriental, and it was small, and it always had French films.
Yeah.
So it had French films, anime, and like the one movie that was like the art house film
Right.
that didn't show anywhere. You know,
Yeah.
like, it was like, that place is showing that movie that I wanted to see that's going to be nominated for an Oscar that nobody saw. You know,
So I
miss those things, because they don't even exist anymore.
Lance.
oh my gosh, where are you? Oh yeah, well,
Oh my God.
Where am I? I'm in Beaverton, Oregon, evidently.
this is everybody. This is Philip Millman, the undisputed, the reigning, undisputed baseball highlights
Intercontinental, intergalactic.
champion of the
Now we're at
Champion of all
it,
champions. Duke of
Yeah,
Duke.
we're here. It's sort of a memorial gathering of friends for people who knew Chuck Yeager. So
Oh, okay, I got
and so we're hanging out. We're
What
hanging
a
out.
guy, man. What a guy, Chuck, man.
Yeah, he was a good guy. So anyway, I thought I would just bomb because they told me you were on, Lance.
Well, no, I appreciate.
Yeah, I was
that.
like, you guys want a video bomb Lance real quick?
I'm putting you down for another shift, Evan. Just
No,
Gen Con.
stop it. You got me in trouble.
Hey, am I going to see you, Evan? Are you going to be at Gen Con?
What's that?
Are you gonna be
Yeah,
at
he's
Gen Con?
gonna be slaving away at the Gray Fox Games booth, baby.
No, I'll be at Gen Con, yeah.
They got you. They're gonna be cracking the whip on you, man.
Oh my gosh. This
Oh.
guy, he won't stop.
Oh my
Phil,
god.
are you gonna be at Gen Con by any chance?
Unfortunately, no. This year's I'm on a special assignment, and so yeah, I can't, man.
What's
I'm
your
not gonna be
special?
a
What are you? A secret agent now? What are you? A special?
I'm working for a congressional committee, a House of Representatives committee on loan from my own agency, and my hours are pretty crazy. So I can't even make it to BGG this year either.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's I mean,
That
I guess
sucks.
good for you for having an awesome job, but I mean, bad for us, I guess.
Yeah, I might make it to PAX.
Well, I won't be at PAX, but our paths will have to cross next year sometime, brother.
No, absolutely, absolutely. I don't know if I can make it out to Minnesota, but
Why would
Well,
you
let me
want
know. Let me know. I'll fire up the grill and we'll have some meals. It'll be fun. I'll make Kevin Burkhartsmeyer come to town too, and we'll make.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love Kevin. Yeah. I haven't seen Kevin in 2 years, so.
Well, yeah, there you go. I just saw him. Well, I mean, I live an hour away, so I actually see
Oh,
him
okay.
on
Yeah,
a,
that's fair.
kind of, sort of, fairly often. But
I mean, that's like an average commute for me, so that would be nothing.
that's insane. That's insane.
You get used to it.
Yeah,
You get used to it. You're so busy. So.
All right. Well,
I'll stop. I'll
we
stop.
won't-
bombing
we
you.
won't
All
keep you
right.
guys-
Well, it was good to see you guys.
good to see you.
Take care. Hey, Lance, just real question. I don't think I have a picture with you in the trophy, do I?
You might. Yeah, you do. It was like from Origins, like 4 years ago.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That was a while ago. All right, man.
See everybody.
Take care, brother.
Good to see y'all.
All right, man. Little research. Are we accepting True Romance as a mob movie?
Definitely has mob elements.
Yeah,
It has
sure.
a scintillating scene between
Yes.
Christopher Walken and what's his face? Why can't I think?
Christian Slater.
No,
the girl.
Oh, Juliette Lewis.
Yeah.
no.
What's fuck?
Christian Slater's father. He's played by
Walken.
Walken is the mob boss, and then
Yes.
the
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper. There
Hopper,
you go. And then
Dennis
because he
Hopper.
goes through the whole thing because he's like, I can spot a liar, and then he goes through the whole thing and basically
Hey, baby,
just
spin this way.
yeah.
Spin the other way.
He runs, basically runs him down, runs it, and he goes, now you tell me, am I lying?
Yeah.
And then he laughs, and because he knows he's gonna die no matter what, so he gets him angry enough to kill him without torturing him to let him know where his son is. So, and then
How about
and he's like,
Great
you
movie.
motherfucker, I haven't killed a man in 7 years. He's just like he's spitting on his body. You did see that Dune 2 is filming right now, right? They showed the thing for scene 1, act 1, scene 1.
Good for them, man.
And the only reason I mentioned that is because Walken's playing the Emperor. So yeah.
So gonna go with one of my faves. I'm researching here.
The
Gangs of New York.
sandworms, they need to the spice.
We'll say Christopher Walken's last role was really good. He was in Severance, which, by the way, is fantastic.
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, Severance.
Oh,
is
Oh
great.
my god.
He wasn't Christopher Walken. He was actually Bert. And I was like, holy shit. I almost
So
forgot it was
good.
Christopher Walken for a second.
Severance is the one with the office thing, right? With the where okay. I'm a little different on this one. I was in and then I kind of went out. I don't know if I should finish it or not. I got to the
I
point
got the
where-
same way, but it pulled me back in.
It pulled you back in.
Yeah.
So I got to the point where I think so that they hired the girl. The girl, she kind of figured out sort of what was going on. I can't remember the last episode I watched because
Yeah.
she arrived there and then she was like finding out she kind of had a plot to get out of there.
Yep.
And then they kind of followed him home. And then he found out something, he kind of went off his path a little bit. And then that part happened. And then I just was kind of like, what are we doing here? What does this all mean? And I don't know.
It wraps up nicely at the end of the season and then
Yeah.
sets up next season really well, too, I think.
See, I'm that way with The Boys. I kind of stopped.
You could actually stop. This is the interesting thing about watching The Boys. You could actually stop watching halfway through season 2 and just watch season 3 and just push your way through it.
See, I stopped watching after 2 episodes of season 3. I'm like, Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
like season 3, if you push through it, it actually ends up being very good. But like the first 2 or 3 episodes is just kind of like, what are we doing here? Like, what?
You know, so I'll say I'm not. This is no spoilers at all whatsoever for the boys. So I'm a big fan of Carl Urban. I loved him in Dread. I thought he did a great job of chewing the scenery as Bones in the Star Trek reboots.
By the way, let's not overlook fucking great movies, Judge Dredd. Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, it's called Dread.
Dread. Okay.
Dread.
Maybe he's talking about the original.
Yeah,
Not the Schwarzenegger or no, Stallone.
Stallone.
Yeah, get it
Hey,
right. It's called Dread.
Don't
But
hate
here-
on that one either. Okay.
All right.
Don't hate on it either,
So,
right?
but here's, but you know, and I think they do a good job, like as a whole. Like I think everybody does a good job. But man, Boys wouldn't be half the fucking show if it wasn't for Homelander.
Yeah.
Like literally,
Yeah.
like it's that guy is so
He didn't work.
evil. So evil, but also so pathetic, and so like also you have empathy for him, and like there's like this huge range of emotions you have for him.
But he's
back
just
and
so like
forth.
he's so pathetic, and like, and it's just like, oh my God, he's so strong, and so like, he's just like, he is so weak and so strong.
Wouldn't you be a Brad if you were invincible?
No, but like he is like, it's not like even a brat. He's so weak. He can't relinquish any of his power. Like he can't.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like he actually does things that he's not even invested in. Like with this dominance of like, it's just my way. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. It's just my way. You know, like I love that really got sold even when things got super tight. And it was like, wow, like even when he has doubt, he'll just erase it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, you know, and it's always good to have a plot eliminator. As I say, it's always good to have that Jesus character type where you can just kind of do whatever you want to with him. That's what Homelander is. It's like, all right, well, this plot didn't work. It's getting a little long. All right, vaporize it. Like, vaporize
You
it.
know,
Burn it with the eye thing again.
Mm.
You know,
So-
or just yeah.
here's a very a long ass time ago. There was a comic. If you know who Mark Waid is, as far as comic writers go, there was a he and I forget who the artist was, but they had a comic. It was like just a 12 issue or a 6 issue maxi series. It was just called Empire, and the whole thing was about basically you come into the thing, the world's already been taken over, and the supervillain has nobody can beat him. Like he's and so it's all about him now. He rules the world.
Okay.
And I mean, track it down. You can find it for cheap on like, it's just called Empire, and it's super good. It is just about like what would a maniacal nobody can defeat me person do after
It's over.
after it's over. You know, it's just like basically it's like 10 years after like he defeated all the heroes. He removed, there's nobody has any superpowers except for him, and there's nobody that can stand in his way. You know,
I kind of wanted something a little bit more, although the plot worked. I wanted something a little bit more complex coming from Thanos sitting on the porch. Like not so at peace, but like kind of like way more in, like just a little bit more into it right there in that moment versus like sitting on the stump and just dropping some straight jewels about how you guys all fell for this shit. I got to this moment, you stupid motherfuckers. But I was hoping for that because I like that idea. It's like, what happens when you got everything you wanted? Mission complete. You killed all the heroes. There are no heroes anymore. The heroes are dead. What's that like? Like. So yeah, that sounds really good. It was really well written? Like what? Like
Yeah, it's super good. It's just
no,
called.
fucking spoil it. What happened?
No, I'm not going to. I mean, it's
It
just
sounds too good. Sounds
Yeah,
too
no,
good.
just
Spoil it.
I mean, I think you can. You probably pick it up off Amazon for $15. Just
Yeah?
Empire. It's good stuff.
Empire.
by Mark Waid. And I forget who
Mark
the artist is, but the art's really good too. And the only other one I can think of would have been I think it was called Mark Waid as well. It was called the Plutonian, and it was like kind of like what if Superman snapped. And Plutonian's also good.
Empire, Thrift Books, published. There you go.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
Read
There
it.
you go.
that's happening.
Um,
That's happening.
So I just pulled up Amazon to like look at it really quick, and I'm gonna share my screen because I didn't realize that Matt is in the middle of my screen. Here, hold on a second here.
You don't like it, Matt? What the hell?
Oh, look right there. There's Matt reading a book.
Oh my god.
Hey, Lance, want to read a book? What should you read? Let me tell you here. Anyway.
I'm just hiding my comic book behind that hardcover.
Oh, there you go. Good for you. Did you ever read Empire? You should read Empire.
No. I can't wait for if the rumors are true, I can't wait for the Secret Wars movies to come out.
How are you gonna do those?
How? Yeah.
It'll be tough. It'll be expensive, but it'll be cool.
By the way,
I honestly don't know how you could possibly do it. I mean, because the Beyonder is like, how do you put the Beyonder into the thing, right? I mean, it's just like that's seriously like almost impossible. I think
That's the easiest part. The hardest part is getting all the friggin' heroes.
Well, no, I mean, no. Okay, we have $1 million bajillion, and so we get everybody to act, and everybody's going to play every role. How do you sell that in such a way? How do you put? I mean, the first Secret Wars 12 issues. I mean, it was great, right? I mean, it's like, okay, what's the one thing if you've read the Secret Wars, the first one, which the Secret Wars 2 is garbage. We can all agree that was like them trying to cash in, and it was horrible. It was horrible. There was a few like like fish out of water things that were slightly neat as Beyonder was trying to like, oh, I'm gonna be human and pretend to be human here, that kind of thing. But I mean, like Secret Wars 1, it was like one of those things where it's like, all right, it was first of all, it was ingenious. It was like all of a sudden, like all these heroes are like, oh, they went into these portals, and villains for that matter went into these portals, and then the next issue of all those comics, like radical changes have happened to everybody. Like in Fantastic Four, like they come back and Thing isn't with them, and She-Hulk is wearing a Fantastic Four outfit instead of him. In the Thing comic book, he goes in and he comes out and he's Ben Grimm. He's human again. Spider-Man, the dark, the Venom suit. That was the first thing with the Venom suit. Like when he came back. So like there was all these like changes they went through, and then so it was like, oh my gosh, all this crazy stuff happened. Why did it happen? You now need to read every single one of these issues, and then understand it or whatever to see what happened. So I thought that was ingenious as far as how Marvel did. And then of course DC tried to follow up with Crisis on Infinite Earths, which sucked. Yeah. I mean, let's be fair. Like it had a couple of iconic moments like Flash dying and Supergirl being killed. But other than that, pretty
spoilers.
Lance, what? How do we bring the ultimate mega villain and super villain.
Who's the ultimate?
What
supervillain?
point? How do we bring in
Who's a
Dr.
bigger
Doom?
supervillain than Dr. Doom? Well, you can't.
How?
Dr. Doom. Oh my gosh, there was a maxi series that was only like 2 issues, or it might have been 3, with Dr. Doom about Latveria, where he basically it was like the true. It was like they said it's the true, like the true retelling or whatever of like in Dr. Doom's words, you know, who he was, why he became what he was, and what his plans were for, you know, the whole world or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was framed like it was like, oh, this helicopter lands and it's this like reporter gets out, like she's supposed to be like, like this, world renowned reporter so and so, here to exclusive interview with Dr. Doom. And so she's like, do you mind if I record this? He's like, yeah, go ahead and record it. And so like the whole thing, he just talks about, like, they retell his origin story. They go through everything. They talk about all the, like, from his point of view, everything's from his point of view. And they go through the entire story, and then he explains what his plan is and why he should rule the world and why I'd be able to do this, that, and the other thing. And then they get done, and then they're like, basically, and she's like, well, I can't thank you enough for this. And it was like I said, 3-4 issues. Can't thank you enough for the interview. He's like, oh, you're very welcome. And then she's like walking, and then her helicopter explodes, killing everybody. and then he's like, she's like, oh my god. And then he like leaves the room that she's in, and the bars drop and everything like that. And he's just like, oh, you couldn't possibly have thought I was actually going to let you go, right? And just like, and he just leaves her, just like, that was like, he, just some weird machination of Dr. Doom for some reason, like to purge his soul of his story, but nobody can ever truly know, what I'm all about. Victor Von Doom is a fantastic character, but the problem the problem about Victor Von Doom is that
can he carry one season?
It is very difficult. It is very difficult to take somebody who's wearing a mask, who never takes the mask off, take them seriously.
Right, to take them seriously. Yeah.
Remember Spider-Man? Everybody wants to talk about how like the first 2 Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire were great, and they were great.
Yeah.
And I thought they were awesome. But there are a few scenes where the Green Goblin and Spider-Man are talking.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like, and it's very jarring, and it takes you out of the moment, because it feels like you're watching the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, because like they're talking, but nobody's face is moving, and they're just like, so it looks like they're just doing nothing.
You almost have to like, because I remember him like kind of telling a joke and being like kind of silly with it. It's like you almost have to over express yourself just to. It's like, oh, okay, there's a human in here.
I didn't know if Willem Dafoe was going to be able to pull off overacting, but no.
But okay,
no.
So
okay. you'd have to take Victor Von Doom. You'd have to remove the whole thing that his face is all scarred and everything like that, because that's why he wears the mask, right?
Yes.
So you'd have to remove that, and you'd have to have some reason why, like, just like the Iron Man, like the mask peels off and peels back on, so you'd have a human nature kind of thing.
I need the human element.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I think it's almost impossible, honestly. And the problem why it's almost impossible also is the fact that they still haven't done Fantastic Four right.
Oh, I was just about to say, can you have hold on. This is what I was gonna go. I was gonna go there. Characters that could carry a 1-season show into a movie arc. Can Mr. Fantastic by himself, Reed Richards by himself, carry a short season that led into the announcement and the actual execution of Final Fantastic Four?
Well, the problem with that is that it's like they had him in the last Doctor Strange movie, and like they it was like, I'm the smartest man alive, and I'm going to tell you exactly what our plan. Oh damn, just like, that's not the smartest man alive. I mean, Reed Richards would have I mean, I still remember in the Marvel Superheroes role-playing game, damn it, he had unearthly intelligence. He had
Yeah.
beyond he had god level intelligence.
Well,
and
he basically has like the Batman trick of like I kind of just know how to deal with everything. So
well, yeah, I mean there was
yeah, like you can hit me, but I kind of have a solution for everything.
there was a comic, I can't think of the name right now, not Planetary, but the same people that published Planetary is a really good comic too. I can't remember what it was like a superhero team, and then there was and their version of Batman was this guy that basically cybernetically or whatever, like his whole body had been enhanced, and so he was like basically walking death, just like
Okay.
basically, if you fight me, I'm gonna beat you, that kind of thing. And like he would always say, somebody would come up and like they would fight, and he's like, I have, in the time it took you to walk up to me at this room, I've already played through, our fight 15,000 ways, and in each one you lose, and I leave you on the
Yeah.
ground.
I
And
like
just
that
like,
kinda
and it's just like, so take your best shot, and it was just
Yeah.
like, and the Midnighter is what the guy's name was. I can't
Okay.
think of it. Yeah, and he was just like, and yeah, he was just walking death, and also like the whole thing about that, Kabuki Kid will probably say it, but what the name, The Authority, that's what it was called. Yeah. So it was just like, and The Authority's a great comic too. And like, what if you had a superhero team that basically was like, yeah, we are the most powerful people in the world, and laws don't apply to us anymore, but we're still good. Right.
Still good.
So yeah, I mean, so like there's the Superman version of in that thing was this guy called Apollo, who got his power from the sun, obviously.
Yes.
And Apollo and Midnighter are a married couple, and Apollo is nearly killed by this guy, and it's just kind of like, and so
Wait. Was Apollo from Superman? What was that 4? The devastatingly good-looking dude that
I think it was, and then it was.
Yeah.
But I do remember there's this scene in this thing where, like basically the guy that got the jump on Apollo, and Apollo, like, because he powers up by from the sun, and so like, and he was low on power, and so this guy nearly killed him, and nearly beat him to death, and so then they're like, and then so like they send up, they're gonna fight this big group, and they send Apollo, and they said, go orbit the sun for like a day and then come back. So he like just powers up, and he comes back and he fights this guy, and he just beats the heck out of him, and the guy's lying on the ground all bloody and like, bruised, and he's like, oh, is this what turns you on, beating me up? Is that why? It's like, and like he's like, is this it? He's like, you're probably gonna pleasure yourself to this. He's not using these kind words to this all night long tonight, aren't you? And Apollo says, he goes, oh, don't be silly, I just promised you to my husband. And then you see Midnighter walk into the room, and he's got like he's got a jackhammer. He's like,
oh my god,
just like, oh, you silly little man.
No,
I just promised you to my husband.
A show that I'm surprised doesn't exist yet, and it has to be on HBO. Can't be on any other thing ever. It has to be Saga. Have you read Saga?
Yeah, Saga's great.
Like, could you put like this? Could you picture it being a bad show, but actually?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, I could picture it existing for years and being a total mediocre show. And a mockery of the excellence that as a matter of fact, it's just so good, I'd rather them not make it. Like, I guess that's how people feel about Game of Thrones, but it worked. But it's like, Saga is so good. By the way, I don't even know if anybody can afford the budget to produce all those aliens.
Sure, they could. They're making a Dune series, they made all these.
Okay, just think about the worlds they would have to produce. And weird random butts and holes, just all kinds of stuff that they have to address, figuratively or visually or whatever.
Blue screens.
Just blue screen everything.
It's basically Star Wars nowadays.
Hey, what about those? Hey, what are those kids doing over there?
Here's a weird thing. What are they
So,
gonna
it's just terrible.
I was a TV show that I tried in this, and this is not Supernatural, which is another movie that I tried to get into more than once, and then just like this is
No.
not interesting to me at all.
No, it's not.
But I tried desperately to get into this movie, and a TV show, and I just can't. I can't get into it. Umbrella Academy.
Oh
And I
my
read-
god,
it's
so great. The season
and
3,
I read the comics. And I'm like, I watched the first season, and I was like, and
Lance,
somebody was like, oh, the
no.
second season of Umbrella. I was like, oh, who cares?
Oh, second season was it really came together,
Yeah.
but third season is
Yeah.
fucking chef's kiss. I mean,
All
they
right,
can-
maybe
like,
I got to give it
Lance-
another shot.
Lance, no, seriously, Lance, like,
okay, I heard you. I heard you.
visually, and the way they pull that shit together is just like, when we watched it, my wife, who is she doesn't no frame of reference, she was like, that was we always have this thing. That was one of the few Netflix shows, one of the shows that we watched that they wrapped it with a bow perfectly. Like, it was just like, yep, that's done. Great. Season 3.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. There were some bumps, but that season right there, that the ending was perfect.
Hmm.
Season 2 was a little, it was like,
I don't know, man. I just couldn't get into it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
you are wrong. You can
You're
be
always
you can be
wrong.
wrong sometimes.
Wrong,
okay.
wrong,
You're
wrong,
only human.
wrong,
Sometimes.
wrong, 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 wrong.
Forrest, how's the channel coming, man?
Good. Got it.
You're wrong. No, we're not going to talk about Forrest's channel. He
No, I
can
wanna
go
see-
advertise his.
I actually did try one of the ideas that Evan talked about once. I've had a couple people bring it up about reading rules. I tried that out.
How'd that go?
Not great.
I would imagine would be.
I'm gonna keep doing it for like another couple weeks just to see if maybe it's the kind of thing where
Wait, what did you do? What did you
I
do?
just read the rules. I just
No.
tried it out.
You know what? This is something that does sound cool, but I don't know if you want to put the work in. So, one thing people don't do is read source material. Okay, people put a lot of money into this. They put money in this. They hire people. They write this lore, the comic books, or whatever. If you're a good fluent reader, you got a little bit of flavor to your reading. Read this shit. Put some of the pictures up there while you're reading it. Add a little music. Good shit.
That sounds dreadfully boring.
It sounds dreadfully boring, but if you put the effort into the editing, it could actually be pretty decent. Let's just say somebody got hired to do that a couple times because they're so damn good at it. So if you can do it, if you're like a really great reader and you can kind of spruce it up with some production, shit, it might be all right versus like reading a rule book.
Well, I think it would be. I'm trying.
Rodney practically does that, except he writes a script for it.
You know what I would love?
And shows you what he's doing.
This has nothing to do with anything, but you know what I like, and I don't wish mean things on people. I mean,
Yeah,
I
you do.
try
Stop
not to.
lying to
Stop
yourself.
I try
doing
not to.
Stop.
I try not to wish
You are.
mean
You're
things
terrible.
on
You know
people.
this.
But
Horrible human.
Horrible human man.
if I actually find something that I want to buy, and I'm on Amazon and I'm looking for it, I'm trying to find it, and I'm like, and you know what I do more often than not? It's like 5-star reviews. They're usually garbage.
They are.
Because it's like, because it's just like
Fucking terrible.
great, fantastic, 5 stars. You know, that doesn't help me at all. But so a lot of times I go and I look at 1-star reviews just because why didn't you like it? No, I mean, seriously, like, why didn't you? Okay, 1-star reviews. And then you get to the first one and it's like, oh, you know, it's like, I want to get this dog food. Is it, you know, it's like, because my husky, he's got a little bit of a baby tummy. If he eats the wrong kind of food, he gets upset. So it's like, looking for dog food that's good, that's easily digestible. Because like seriously, like my dog, he'll eat his kibble, and then like you just kind of watch him for like the next 20 minutes because if he starts going, if he starts going, oh, 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 get him outside, get him outside. Just like, so you're just so you get him outside so he can do his business out there, right? So I don't have a steaming pile of dog vomit on my floor. But no, but so we're just looking for something, a diet food that, and it's just like, oh, here's somebody who had, it's like 1-star review. You pull it up, shipment was late, 1 star.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say it's usually ordered the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Shipping
Delivered wrong thing, 1 star.
Or clearly didn't read the label.
Right.
Like literally order something that doesn't say, it says digestive health. There's nothing on the package that says digestive health at all. It just says, hey, this is some shitty heavy protein shit. Like
I'm just
clearly it's above the dog's daily allowance, and that's why it's on sale right now.
well, as we have said many occasion on this show, nobody reads anything.
Nobody
It
reads.
doesn't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. You can get on the horse and you can ride it all the way to the valley, and then you can get off the horse and you can take it by the reins and you can walk it down the trail, and you can walk it all the way to the river. You can even take your hands and pick the water up, and you can bring it to its nose, but that damn horse won't drink. It's just like, these are the steps that I need you to do so I can do this for you. And then
I said, I was just thinking about that with the shipping, because we had Mythic just announced the thing with the shipping, and
what's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I put that.
He's not going to say it. He's not.
No. I have to think about. I want to think before I speak. I feel like we're in a time where, moving forward, we have a different set of rules. But based on the projects that launched 2 years ago till now, I think backers are now learning how publishers sustain themselves and also do things to help the customer that eat into their margins and hinder them. So now customers are becoming more aware of what's going on. And they're becoming more aware in different ways before then and now. But like now they're understanding, holy shit, like these people don't make a lot of money. Holy shit, they don't make any money. Like I think some people don't realize that. I think they're learning that. And now that companies are showing their hand and being like, hey, we actually did this for a while and now we can't help. Like that's tough. That's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow. And it's not something it's something very new. But I think like until we get out of these projects from 2019 and 2020, in some cases 2021, those monster games, there was some $5 million games, 10, like Kingdom Death Monsters, 5 years. What is it? Divinity Original Sin is like 2 years. That was like a $1 million. Like I think now customers are just gonna have to get smart. I put on this post today. I said, I was just because people were grinding about it. I said, let me tell you something. Moving forward, if you get a big box game and it's an all-in game, big ass box game, if you scroll down to the chart and it doesn't say $40 to $100 or $40 to $80 or $40 to $70 for shipping, don't back it.
If they're not saying that, then if they're not saying that, okay. So here's the deal. I don't know anything when it comes to how Mythic is handling their stuff. I know zero things. Right. I don't know anything behind the scenes. I don't know anybody that works for them. I don't know. So anything I say is just my opinion as a publisher. That's all it is. I'm doing the imagination. I'm just,
Okay.
it's just my opinion as a publisher.
Fire.
So I don't know. I would love to have a conversation with them because I don't know who is shipping these things. And I don't know how big the boxes are and how much they weigh.
They showed something, and I think just the base box. Man, I'm speaking so out of pocket here. I think just the base box is over 20 pounds.
I mean, if it is, then it's just kind of one of those things where it was like they were subsidizing their shipping.
Dude, Lance, the number was like 1.7 mil. It was
No, they're screwed. They're screwed. And the
Like-
thing is that people will pay it because they're just gonna be like, well, I want my
bro,
stuff.
you want your game, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like to see that number, it was like, holy shit. Like,
Oh
you ate
yeah,
that?
for them to actually say, yeah, look, here's cards on the table. This is what we need. I mean, that's amazing that they're being that honest. I'm trying to find something to show you.
I was like, holy shit, how could you? I mean, don't get me wrong, I like transparency, but I was like, holy shit, you just kind of showed us 3 cards out of your hand. Like, like that's crazy.
Yeah, no, and it's just, but man, I don't know. And the thing is that remember a million years ago, you and I talked about Darkest Dungeon
Yeah.
on this show. We talked
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, we did.
And I was like,
Years ago, Lance.
oh yeah, years ago. In the before times,
Yes.
you know?
In the times of old. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm waiting. If he was still alive, I'd call up Mako on Fiverr and say, "Let me tell you a tale of high adventure." You know,
Oh
but
my God.
and we talked about this, and I was like, Darkest Dungeon is one of my all-time favorite
I know.
computer games. And I said, I'm not backing this.
Yeah.
And I said the reason why I'm not backing this, even though I think it looks absolutely freaking amazing, and I think the miniatures
Looked really cool.
beyond the beyond, right? I mean, they looked exactly like I want those miniatures. It was $330, and I was
Yeah.
and I had this mentality of like, if I want to play Darkest, it looked like they basically just ported the Darkest Dungeon computer game over to being on a computer.
Yep.
And it was just kind of like, okay, so I guess the only draw here is that I can play with my friends. But
Friends. Yeah.
when you play Darkest Dungeon, there's so much stuff that happens about stress and going insane.
Yeah.
And like I told you this, and I said the amount of upkeep that you're going to have to do just to play the game, unless they just simplified it all the way down.
Yeah.
I mean, no way. No
But
way.
but that's, I mean, unfortunately, and fortunately, depending on what you like, I do think we're still heading in that direction where people have mathed out the generator part and put it in the decks. And Gloomhaven kind of ushered that in. It's like, hey, you can have 5 decks out that flip over the modifiers for, like, and the truth is that's a no. That's not true. Like people don't like app integration, but they sure as hell love it for Gloomhaven because it's awesome. They people, like it's true for that game and not everybody else is what we're finding out. And I think that's not going to stop publishers for a while for having these super heavy upkeep games. There's a reason why people like a lot of these other dungeon crawlers and they don't like Sword and Sorcery as much. Sword and Sorcery, very good game, tons of upkeep. Fantastic game though.
I don't know anything from anybody.
Why don't you make a campaign game? Why don't you guys make a campaign?
But here's because why?
The fuck?
Why would we? I should
wait. Hold on, Lance.
I
Lance, do you want $1 million?
No. Why wouldn't I? Why? Like Shane says all the time. He's like, I should just be making something for somebody to put their fucking cards in instead of developing a game for 6 months.
I feel you, man. I feel you.
I mean, no. So here's the deal. So Cool Mini or Not, and this is again,
What?
this is
I gotta
as
talk
a
to Jamie.
publisher, this is just me. I don't know anything. This
Tell
is
Shane to
just
come
my
on here.
opinion. No, he's probably up and he's probably watching this and laughing his ass off. But
Okay.
so no, here's my whole. No, actually, he's probably in spreadsheet hell because he's going through 3 different campaigns and figuring out all the fulfillment stuff. Because I was like, "You want any help with that?" And he always says, "If you help me with it and get it wrong, I'll have to fucking fire you. So just let me do it." I was just like, "All right, fair enough."
Yep.
Yeah,
Kind of a-
That's fair.
Yeah, no. So no, what was I saying? No, so the Cool Mini or Not model, whether and I all of To Cool Mini or Not, I some of my favorite games they published, right? But
Okay.
with very few exceptions, their games hit Kickstarter, make a bunch of money, deliver to backers, and then pretty much just immediately vanish.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's like, "Hey, you got Rising Sun Retail Edition?" I mean, nobody's looking for stuff that comes out after the fact. It's like they have streamlined, they have managed to basically tap the vein of every single person that's ever going to want their game and is going to get those things. Look at all the games they published, and like so many of them. I mean, the only like Blood Rage still kind of exists in retail.
What? Yeah.
And then, but Zombicide exists in retail. People still buy Zombicide.
Zombicide is the one. Zombicide is the one. That's it.
And now the Marvel game. The
Right.
kinda,
And now Marvel United is
in Marvel United, because it's like
that's a mega hit for them.
Yeah, it's a mega hit. But other than that, nothing. There's nothing that nobody's racing out to find. I remember when Cool Mini or Not was playing around with small box games, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do the Queen's Necklace, and we're gonna do this."
Here's the deal, Lance. Here's the thing: the games that they make that are non-Kickstarter that are retail are really good. They're
but nobody cares, and they don't.
Nobody cares.
And they
those games.
And they
I
don't
have
really,
them at work. Like we play them all the time, and it's just like it's funny that the non-Kickstarter games they have are like really they're just really fun family games.
But they don't really focus on that anymore.
Yeah.
They're done, you know. But so anyway, so here's the deal. So what you have here is you have Mythic, who, I mean, and this is not me trying to trash a Mythic. I think
no, you're terrible. You're a racist.
I know.
You hate everybody.
I know.
Son of a bitch.
I know.
Fine. Son of a bitch.
I'm
I
a
hate
horrible
you.
human being, and I
hate you.
deserve
Hate
to be
you.
hoisted on my own petard. But let's
This
just
is why they
look
fucked
through.
you at McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all.
Yeah.
So let's go through what they have. Joan of Arc. Name me
Joan
a
of Arc.
person who plays that.
They
Yeah,
have a
exactly.
convention scene for that one, though. They have a convention scene for that.
Fine. But I mean, okay. Solomon Kane.
Solomon Kane, great game, but no buzz.
Reich Busters.
Definitely needs a rework.
Super Fantasy Brawl.
Yeah, that one's doing well. That's just doing well, not here though.
But nobody, I don't know of anybody who plays it. Nobody's got it. Like, let's play. I'm having a weekend of Super Fantasy Brawl.
Yeah, I'm not having a weekend, but I did pay $500 to get it painted. Anyway.
And that's just that's confirmation bias on your end.
But
It's
I'm
good.
not bitter.
It's good.
Not
Gator.
bitter.
Not bitter
Not
at
at
all.
all.
I'm not bitter at all.
So then they're like, wait a minute. Time of Legends Joan of Arc made us $1 bajillion. Let's do Time of Legends Joan of Arc 1.5 for everybody who missed out on the giant dragon and everything. They can still
I think they messed up some stuff and they were trying to fix that and all that. They did
Fair
they
enough.
did a lot.
Fair
I don't
enough.
know.
Fair enough.
Fair.
Then we do,
Monster
but still, you don't see anybody busting out Joan of Arc at a convention, in the game room, right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, I guess I don't know, but I've seen that one at conventions do pretty like they have something going on for those. I don't know.
No, they have it on display, and they get people to come over and this looks amazing, and then they want to and then they get people to drop $500 for an all in or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so then we go to two of them that were just a blip on the radar that nobody cared about. Enchanter's East Quest.
Enchanters, something about Enchanters, everybody, the people eat that one up, man. That one I don't get.
And Steam watchers, I mean, nobody
Steam-
cared.
Okay, yeah.
Nobody
Yeah.
cared. So then what they did, wait a minute, let's go to Vikings.
Monsterocalypse.
No, we're not there yet. Let's go do Viking stuff. So because everybody wants to do Vikings. So then they did. That's right, Hell, the last
Oh,
saga.
dude, that game is super good. I don't know what the final product's going to be. But that game is really good.
But still, like, it hasn't been released yet, right? It hasn't been delivered.
We're
Yeah.
2018, 19.
I don't
far
know.
back.
It's been forever.
Yeah.
So then after that was Darkest Dungeon.
Oh, wow. Dude, that's 2019.
Yeah. Then after that, Super Fantasy Brawl Round 2.
Round 2. Yeah.
Which only got 580,000 because people are starting, the shine was starting to come off the apple, like, where's my shit? You know,
Yeah.
people are like, and you still, and Kickstarter is more than happy to take their 5%. So yeah, you can do another one. Come back. And then we did Six Siege, the board game, which, to be fair, it's like it's the Rainbow Six game. So that 1.5 million. Again, though, you can see it's slipping. And then you get to Monster Apocalypse, which did 1.3, which should have done way more.
It should have done way more. But
Yeah.
that you also got to realize, like, that scene is that scene. I can't talk about that game, so let's move on.
And then Anasteer, which was their most recent, which coughed and wheezed its way over $1 million, which I mean, everybody should be so unhappy as to, like, you know, but my point here is that they're feeling the burn of their backers, right? They're like, where's my stuff? Where's my stuff?
At some point, man. At some point.
And then go and look at that update they did. And once again, I don't know anything about anything. This is just me approaching. And also, like I said, I want everybody to get their games, and I want Mythic to stay in business, and I want them to be amazing. And and from what I understand, as you said, the games, people love them, right? The people are great.
People do like them a lot. The thing is they have rule book issues. They're kind of known as a rule book issue.
Look at that update and see that and some of these people are probably contracted. I don't know. 24 employees. Like, they have a little banner of everybody that's working for them. 24 employees, and they're saying, you know, thank you, you know, just like this like, you know, like, everybody, like, we appreciate you kind of thing, which is cool that they did that. But it's like, and then Shane said something to me. He's like, take a really good hard look at all the jobs that all those people have that are, you know, in the listing. If you go and you look at everything, and it's like graphic designers, it's miniature sculptors, artists, whatever. There's nobody on there that's marketing.
Yeah, I know her.
Well, I do too. Yeah, she left, right? She
Yeah.
left. But there's nobody on there that's like, oh, once we print all these games off, we got to somehow continue to get people to buy them.
I know him. I know him too. He left.
And no. He got shown the door.
He got shown the door. But yeah.
Man, it sucks. And I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's a weird world, right? I mean,
yeah, I can't talk about it, Lance. All right.
I know you can. But I mean, but as a publisher, I know the conversations that I have with my boss, or bosses, I should say, and we talk about how thin margins are and how I mean, there's a reason why we are, after all is said and done, after all this, and we are fine financially because we are cheap fucks. You know, there's a reason why I'm like really the only employee they have. you know, and it's just kind of like,
No, man, that's shame, bro.
well, no, well, and Shane, and
Yeah.
Shane, and Shane is
Shane
cheap.
is shame, bro. That's
No. Whenever I sent him an email, I was like, well, this person's willing to do it for $20, and they're a little bit better than this person who's willing to do it for free. Free. He's always just like, free. Take the free. Take the free.
Shane is about every damn penny, man.
Yeah, he
He's
bends him
every
in half.
penny, man.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, it's just kind of like, which, you know, I mean, you know, but you know what? He's fair and he's honest. And like, we were having a discussion about something, we're trying to figure something out. And I said, Shane, and every single time I've ever dealt with you, you've always been fair. So I'm not worried about it. So we'll just, don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. Let's just, you know, you don't have to give me a song and dance number or anything like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Mythic. It's gonna be interesting what happens to him in the next year,
Well, and here's the problem. And again,
because they are not
they're
they're not a small publisher. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
well, and I shouldn't be beating my drum on this one at all, right? I mean, because we've definitely had our problems with, you know, communicating what's going on, and you know, and it's something that we're working on improving. And but look at Oathsworn, how like they went out and like every 2 to 4 weeks they're posting an update. This is what's going on. This is exactly what's going on. Here it is, completely transparent. And it's just like, and then this is what's going on. And they didn't hide, they didn't like, you know, like cross their fingers and hope that things would work out. That, you know, and then so when things weren't working out for them, they said, what we need is $19 more from each of you. And like basically all the backers were like, a good 75% of the backers is, can I give you more? Just
but
because you guys are awesome.
Lance, the reason why is because it was $19 fucking dollars. Like,
but, yeah,
like it's also
you know why? Because they actually charged the actual shipping that it was going to cost them.
No. I think it's not that they got lucky. It's just that like it worked out. Like, I feel like the fact that they got it to where it was $19, like how they mapped it out or whatever, and what money they like lost or whatever. I just feel like they got like the perfect amount where they were like, well, fuck, if we do $19 and 75% of our backers back, we'll have a little bit of money, and then we'll just take those extra 3,000 copies we have, and that'll be our profit.
I don't know. I mean, it was one of those things.
I just feel like they also have this thing of like, it's their first game, so it's like people have like this newness of like, all right, we'll let you get away with this time, like, because you guys have been great. They've been communicating since forever. I love them for doing that. I appreciate that, but I just think it's because of the first time. Like, they could end up like Mythic down the road, you know, like. I don't know.
They'll be fine. I mean, from what I've heard, I basically
Jamie's awesome, dude. He's great. But
here's my weird concern is that
come on down, bud.
So I blindly just said, fine, all in, Oathsworn, I'm out. You know, just like literally, like I saw the giant line of people to try to demo the game in 2019. I was just like, it looks kind of cool. Somebody described it as, it's just the big boss monster fight, basically, for every like thing, and then it's just, it'll have like a narrative and things. So I was like, all right, that sounds interesting. At least the minis will be cool. I'll do it. From people I've heard that have played it, they've either said it's a giant bloated mess or it's amazing. There's nobody in the middle.
There's nobody in the middle.
There's nobody in the middle. It's either the coolest miniatures game they've ever played, or it's a giant bloated mess and you should just throw it away. I'm like, well, I don't know what's going on.
I love it. No, I love that. About those type of games, it's like, it's literally just go big or go home, right? No matter what with those, no matter what. I mean, thankfully, I'm in a privileged position whether I buy it or it's sent to me, man. I mean, but goddamn, I mean, I would, but I backed Kingdoms Forlorn, and I haven't even gotten Aeon's Trespass. But unlike other people, I've had the privilege of playing the prototype. Like I played the full prototype, but so many changes have been made. I played Primal, fantastic game. I backed it all in. So many gameplay changes have been made. I don't know when it's going to give or how it's going to change, but I feel like something's going to shift where it's like there's going to be a $5 million stinker, and then everybody's going to be like, "Fuck Kickstarter." like there's going to be like a 5,000, like straight up. There's going to be not a 2 million, not a 3 million, like a $5 million. Well, the bail on your asses.
I do. I'll
But
say
there's
this.
suckers coming in the hobby all the time. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
No matter what, man. Like no matter what.
I love coming in and like reading like say like the blacklist, my blacklist miniatures comments, just like those, just the sour grapes. Just like, because it just makes me feel better. I don't know why. I just
the
these people that are just losing their minds, just absolutely just losing their minds, saying it's just like, just say something. It's like the guy that runs this has vanished. He will never.
He is Batman. I am the night.
I am the night. Did you ever see that episode where like what was that cartoon, and it was like the Blue Beetle, and he went back and Batman, like the old Batman went back and saw the young Batman, and then like they're watching it, and Batman's, and he's like, the young Batman Bruce Wayne's like, I am the night, I am the person. Blue Beetle's like, you really said that? I am the night? He's just like, look, let's just skim over it. It's like, yeah. What I find hilarious about the blacklist miniatures thing is
Even that.
Okay, first of all,
Oh, you're
Larry,
leaving? Oh, Matt, what do you got? You got anything cool to tell us about? Anything you're working on recently?
Well, Jeremy mentioned Divinity. We're working on that.
oh, you're working on Division, the original Sin, that one? So it's pretty
Yeah.
close then, huh?
It's getting there. No, it is.
Add another 8 months if Matt's team's
No,
working
it won't
on
be
it.
that long. It's they just did a Twitch live stream, AMA the other day.
Okay. I saw that
Um,
they were putting some stuff out, so I was wondering what's up with that then.
So I'm working on it. One of my people's working on it, and Peter Walken is also working on it. So
What? Okay.
we got 3 graphic designers like toiling pretty heavily on it, and there's a lot of content. It's
It's a lot of
sizable-
content.
Pardon?
They're going big.
Yeah, and it's changed quite a bit since its original inception.
Yes,
so
it has.
I think in a good way. So we'll see.
We'll see, right? We'll see.
But yeah, there's that. There's a lot of other fun stuff.
I almost want to ask you if you're working on several of these games, but yeah, there's some really good games that are yet to be announced that are coming. I'm very excited.
He's a
about.
working fool, you know that.
Yeah, man, you know that guy's working. I may need him. I may need his services, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Oh, I launched my store today.
What?
How'd that go?
I'll put that on the screen. Put that on the screen.
All right, hold on a second. It's just a few products.
What the fuck? Come on, let's see it. Okay, hold on.
Whoops. What the
Oh,
hell?
that's a good one.
The
That was
store's
good.
down. Store's down.
So there's just a
Who
whole
is
bunch of
she?
creative
Who is
stuff.
she?
So
Dear
this
God.
this is the coin that I did this year.
Okay.
So I did a t-shirt for it as well.
Can you come over here?
And I did this last year, but T Public pulled it down. It's cool. It's actually got like a little knit. I found a filter to do like a knitting kind of filter on it, so it looks like an actual sweater.
Ooh, I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
Pardon?
I like that. It's
Yeah,
in
it's
blue.
fine.
You get it blue. Yeah.
Black. I can put blue on there if you want.
Yeah. There you go.
Good night.
What
good.
else?
Good night.
It also comes in a sweater. There
I
you
like to
go.
be creative. I like the baseball. Who's that mean man?
I don't know. It's whatever model they had.
Guy's doing like he literally looks like he's about to do a crime. All right.
And then there's a holographic sticker. It's fun.
Ooh.
So
You
this
have
is
pins?
what I ended up using. Sorry, I'm waiting for these to come in
yeah.
because I'm only giving one coin away per hour at Gen Con. And I'm like, well, what if people come up to me and ask for a coin and I've already given it away for the hour? So I'm gonna
Yeah.
be giving them like little stickers like this, little holographic ones.
Oh, here. Yeah, I only have a coin, but
Yeah.
you can have this 3-cent sticker though. And I'd be all like, oh, thanks.
The coins are like $8.
And I take it from you, and then I would rip it apart in front of you. Be like, that's what I think your coin.
Fucking ingrate.
Yeah, you freaking Canadian.
Talking
Yeah.
to you fucking ingrate, Matt Lance.
He's
He's
about
giving
to
you
go to
something
bed,
in
for
your-
God's sake.
He's giving you something, and you're pissing in his Cheerios.
Just eat
Giving
it
me
right
the
in front of
drink,
you.
Lance.
Thanks for your time, Matt. Jeez.
I better get one of those damn coins. That's all I'm gonna say.
You better have
Keep
a
it up,
couple
you
of
mean?
pocket, you son of a bitch.
I'll be following you around. Can I have a coin? Can I have a coin? Has it been an hour yet? Can I get the coin?
Can I get a coin?
Can I get the coin?
I
If
give
you
you
really,
my soda. Will you give me a coin?
Matt, if you really want to piss him off, you should get one of the BGG tumblers and then put the sticker on it and give it to him.
I'll give you a loony when you ask for a coin,
I like the loony. I like that. It's
or
cool.
or a
Cool.
toonie.
Oh yeah, the toonie. See, I know what you're talking about. They have no clue.
I know
Is that-
Canadian currency. You're not that special, Lance.
Oh, I am. I am.
Like, I assume a lot of us have been to Canada before.
On April Fool's one year, back when the toonie was coming out, or the loony, no toonie, one of the local radio stations announced that as of today, banks were no longer going to be as of 5 o'clock today. Banks were no longer going to be accepting, your $2 bills were no longer legal tender. So it caused these droves of people like filing to the banks to exchange their $2 bills, and it was just this like massive fucking disaster. So this radio station got in big trouble for doing that.
That would drive people nuts.
Yeah.
You know how people used to give the $2 bills for like, it's like, hey, Sonny.
Yeah, here's a $2 bill.
Yeah.
You're special. Get out of here.
My friend Peter has uncut sheets of 1s and 2s.
You can buy them, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So when I worked at this pizza place way up in North Fargo, not that it matters to you guys, where it was located, there was this kid who would come in and get like a personal pizza or like a small pizza, and he'd always pay with $2 bills, 50-cent coins, silver dollars. I'm like, robbing grandpa again, huh?
Grandpa's house.
Yeah, you went to grandpa's house and went to his coffee can, and yeah. I always felt bad taking it.
Yeah. I may or may not have a layered Photoshop file
What's up?
for the Polymer 20.
Tap the light, see if it works. Actually tap it. Yeah, with your finger or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, I got confused. All
Sorry.
right.
Yeah.
His night light's not working.
Really, Matthew.
In case anybody's wondering, I still have not received my lazy gamer. I'm
That
looking
man
at
gave a hand for you, damn it.
He didn't give anything.
I'm sorry, a finger.
That guy, that was a Photoshop. That guy didn't give us anything.
Well, you're
Yeah.
the sucker who fell for it.
Lance,
I
Lance, I'm designing a game.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Can I pitch my shitty game to you? All
Well,
right.
as,
See you guys.
See you, Matt.
as Shane says, everybody's got a fucking dream.
Yeah, that's what hey, hey, I just want you to know, I thought of Shane when I was deciding.
Oh my god! At
And
Dice Tower, when we were trying to package up to go, I love Jason Levine. He's a very nice human being.
very nice
And
guy.
I don't think he has a mean bone in his body.
Does not.
But he must have came up to Shane and asked him if he wanted to either A, go on the Dice Tower cruise, or B, sponsor the Dice Tower cruise. Probably 4 times that I witnessed personally while he was asking. And Shane every single time said, I don't like cruises. My wife doesn't like cruises. He's like, I'm not going to sponsor something that I'm not going to be there for. So I don't know what you're doing. And Jason was just tried it was just like this. It was just this, just asking him over and over again. And as we were cleaning up the booth on Sunday, I literally, I saw something that you only see in movies, like when the crusty old man goes out on his porch with the hose to spray the people to get rid of them. He's just sitting there, and Jason came up, and Shane just started rubbing his head. He's like, Jason, if you mention that damn cruise to me one more time, I swear. And he's like, well, Shane, there's a new sponsorship level we just found out about.
Oh, hey, that is what a salesman do. That is what a salesman do. That is what a salesman do. Especially a good one.
Shane was just like, he's like, no. And Jason's still like, he's like, no, scram, beat it. It's like, beat it, get out of here, go. Like, just like, and I thought,
that's my guy.
And then we were like packaging up like the last of our stuff, right? And we had copies of Bushido, and Bushido is a very good game that we published.
Very good game.
It's a very good game, and it's like one of those like 2-player gems, whatever. Jason saw we had like 3 copies left that we hadn't sold, and we're throwing them in this box for this guy that's going to sell them on consignment. And Jason's like, Shane, I see you have Bushido. And he said, Jason, I know you own a copy of Bushido. And he's like, well, mine's really beat up. Do you think maybe I can have one of those copies? And he just looks up at me, and he said, only if I can beat you over the head with it.
You gonna get beat in the head? Don't leave his head.
No, to his credit, Shane just said, that's fine. Just take it. Now beat it.
There you go. That's Shane. That's Shane. All right, can I pitch my shitty game?
Okay, I'd love to hear it.
All right. So, in a world,
I was just thinking that.
no, it is. No, this game takes place in a fact.
You have to unmute yourself, Jeremy. I can't.
He's died first.
Yeah, and the thing is you actually stalled, so I almost hit it. And I was like, no, he hasn't started yet. So I stopped. All right, now seriously, okay. What's the theme?
Here you go. It's working title because I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. Gangster Warehouse Robots.
Okay.
Okay, so we are in a warehouse. I actually want to make it like really close because I want to make it sound like there's something that happened. Happens in 2030. All right. So 2030, humans have a warehouse, and you are these junk robots, and you are junk gangster robots. Okay, so you're like these undercover robot bosses, and what you're trying to do is it's part area control. So you're going to be trying to control different departments of the warehouse. You are building cars or drafting cars that are coming off the line because they're going to either be dropping extra parts or you're going to get pieces that you put on to your crew. You're going to be building your crew in the game, literally building your crew with pieces
like building
like Minecraft-ish kind of thing, like putting the pieces in your little player board. And when you put the player board, you're going to give your minions, people abilities. But when you also on that same card, it's going to have little pieces, some that are like extra bits and scraps, and then some that are like defective pieces, because of course, since stuff is coming off the line, it's waste because you're picking up waste. You're picking up waste robots, right? So what you're going to be doing during the day is drafting those cards, and at night you're going to be taking what you got and building your robot in this little player board. Then at the end of the week, when everybody's gone, the shift's over, right? Everybody's gone for the weekend. That's when the robot wars begin for the territories of the different departments. And that's where you use, like the robots are going to have movement where they go to certain sections, and then they're going to have like little battles where they go to certain sections. And I don't know if you know the game Viral, where you're fighting over like organs and different systems, different stuff like that. You'd be fighting. Yeah, it's a really good game that people just overlook, but it'll have something of a similar system where you're going to different areas and having different area controls, but based on the little pieces that you have in your body, you'll have these different adjustment abilities to that. And that's the game. It's been played over 3 rounds. Yeah, should be pretty interesting. By the way, when the battles take place, you are pulling these pieces, these little extra scraps from your body, because of course it's gangster style. So you're trying to like shoot each other, right? But some of the pieces you pull out will be good scraps. And then the other ones you pull out will be flat out duds and junk that don't work, because of course you're building shitty robots out of like pieces that aren't necessarily the best. So that's where the little thematic touch comes into it. Yeah, that's the game kind of in a nutshell.
And how far along is said game?
Got all the cards done. I got all the cards done, and then I have the board on paper. That's about it.
Well, no, I mean, I don't give a shit about what the status of the prototype is. What I'm asking is that like
Status of the game.
Yeah, status of the game, man. Like, what is
the functionality?
Yeah, I mean, what I mean is just, is it, in your opinion, like how much play testing have you done?
Oh, I'm gonna have to do a ton of play testing to make sure it's balancing out, because you got the moving parts to it are, of course, you got to have cards that have certain amount of pieces on each card, but then on the bottom of that card, you also got to have shapes that you put inside of like your little V-robot. Like I have a robot that's like standard robot, like small head, big box. So then you're taking pieces like this and fitting them in there, and they'll have like +2 movement, +1 attack, and you'll be putting them in there in your robot. And the thing is they're not meant to fit in perfectly, because you're just picking up shit off the ground and putting it together to make a robot, like in your boss. So it's like, you're putting them in there like that. They're not supposed to fit. You're supposed to do whatever you can to make, the best robot to fight with. So it's gonna need some work just to make that part right there look fun, and you want to have the feeling of like, all right, fuck it, I'll just take this weird rhombus looking thing here, this kite right here, and and just kind of make it work, because that's what you're going to have to do, because at the end of the week you may not have all the parts you need. So that's kind of like an element that needs to be kind of worked out. So hey, I got a partner, Stan Kordonsky, who's a lot more of a famous designer than I am. So I'm gonna use the guy who made Rurik and what's gonna probably be the game of the year, Endless Winter. I'm gonna use his use his expertise to help me figure this out. So yeah, I don't know, man. I figured I'd try it. It's yeah, I don't know. So what are people saying in the chat here? Chimera Station. No, there was a game that's kind of shit. It was called shit, what was it? It was like where you're going inside of a dungeon and you're going and you're making bits and you put the bits on your board in a Minecraft kind of thing and you make weapons. So you make the shapes of a weapon. And I can't remember
No
the
idea
name
what
of
you're
it.
talking about.
And then you would go in the dungeon and then you fight and then like the magma would flip over and it destroyed the dungeon. You had to get back out. I can't remember the name of the game, but I thought of that part. But I wanted to make sure, unlike that game, that actual shapes were relevant. So like if you had a triangle guy with a circle, of course, there would be no circles. There'd be like one size circle. So you'd be either put like a triangle in there to make it look stupid. So like triangle would probably be like an eye. And then the other pieces that go in there just wouldn't fit. So it's like, hey, he just made a junk. It should look like that. It shouldn't look cool. It should look stupid. You know, like, hey, I got this shitty arm off the ground, off the line. This is what it looks like, So yeah, I can't remember the name of that damn game. Oh shit, I can't remember. And I know what publisher it's by though. It's by Game Brewer. What is it called?
You and I, well, I mean, like, you should have me play the game. Bring it to Gen Con.
Whatever.
You
You don't
wanna-
like my fucking game. Fuck you.
Hey,
You don't like
well,
my
that might be my
fuck
response
you,
to your
man.
game.
Oh my god. I'm
Uh,
sorry.
I am extremely picky when it comes to games. You know.
I
that.
know you are.
So if it's something, what happened there?
Forest
Forest
Down.
Oh, you know what?
he's
Oh, it's
dozing.
this game. It's called Fuji Coral. That's what it was called. It's a
Fuji. Never heard of
Fuji.
it.
Fujikoro, yeah, you make your sword and fight the dragon.
You know what? Forrest was a little low key tonight. I didn't like that. I came back for the energy.
So
A newborn.
Fujikoro, I mean, without Fujikoro, and admittedly, everything happens for a reason. You know,
You some bitch. You son of a
No,
bitch.
no.
You're terrible. You're a terrible human being. I love you.
No, it's like everything happens for a reason,
Wait.
right? So
That's the most fucking backhanded.
so Fujikoro, because somebody within the
Within this sphere.
within Tasty Digital Games didn't respond to an email, like TMG lost out on like hundreds of thousands of dollars because we didn't partner up with Game Brewer,
Yeah.
which Fujikuro was a mediocre game at best.
Yeah, it was
So-
mediocre.
And if we had gotten that
Cool
money,
ideas.
if we had gotten that money, I believe wholeheartedly that the people that were running TMG would have just pissed that money down the drain even faster, just
Yeah.
like they were doing with everything else they had. So
That game made
and-
good money. Let's see.
yeah, it did.
Yeah, €305. That's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, so the big thing is that it was like one of those things where it was like, and then maybe then I would have stayed on with the company longer, and then I
Yeah.
wouldn't have be working for Shane now, and I would be like, you want fries with that, So I mean, I guess I can't complain, but yeah, that was one of those things. When I found that out, I was like, are you fucking kidding me, really? Just like that was one of those things that drove me crazy. You know what I mean? Not, hey, things happen, life moves on, so on. But I mean, it's one of those
Not bitter.
things. Yeah, not bitter.
Not bitter.
One of the things is like one of the things that really bothered me after I got, and it still sticks in my craw, is that like
No,
literally
what?
they
I never heard this saying. What was that?
sticks in my craw, stuck in my
Oh.
craw. You never heard of that?
No, I never heard that saying.
Oh, it's a Midwestern thing, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, Jesse Ventura used to say it all the time.
That
Very,
nut
very,
job.
very Minnesota thing to say. He always used to say it. He was like, "It always stuck in Hulk Hogan's craw that he never beat me in the ring." I would say that. But anyway, when they, the biggest thing was like when I got hired for TMG, they're like, we're a family, and we'll just like we'll do anything for him. I'll never ask him. It was a big giant thing. It was this idea that
Apparently, you've never been in a dysfunctional family.
and but like when I got let go, which whatever happens, no big deal.
What's it like
Like-
getting fired from a board game company, by the way?
Well, I knew. As soon as Michael called me, like I saw he was calling me, I was like,
Like, why are you? Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I knew it was over.
Yeah.
It was just because
Make the
like I
noise.
said, we were circling the terrain, and like it was just one of those things where it was like, I still remember the last thing I did that morning was because TMG had so much goodwill built up with Board Game Geek, I picked their booth spot for them at BGG Con for that year. That was like the last thing I did officially for Board Game Geek was do that.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then like 20 minutes later, Michael called me and said, I gotta let you go. And like I said, he gave me severance. I mean, it wasn't like he just said, you're out. It was one of those things where
That's
it was
good.
like, I had 3 months of severance, and just like he definitely he was extremely fair. But the thing that bothered me was that like not one person that I worked with at that company that still was with the company reached out to me. Nobody called me, nobody texted me, nobody said anything.
You know what, man? You found out who the real ones are, right?
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's any job, I
that's
mean.
Who the
and
real
that's
ones are.
no, you don't understand. You can say that, Barry, but I mean, it was like those are people that like it was.
Lance, I work with people I trusted my life with,
But
and they don't talk to me.
well,
Okay.
yeah, but that's because you're an ornery
And they
cuss
trusted
nobody
their
likes
life
you.
with me. I mean,
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that it was like one of those things where it was just like, and then I remember I was like when I got to Gen Con, I went over to see them putting the booth together, and I was just kind of like, yeah, hey, thanks a lot for calling, thanks a lot for emailing, thanks a lot. And they're all just like, oh, I just didn't know how to do it. Well, it's easy. You pick up the phone,
Really?
you pick up the phone and you call me and you say, hey, it's like, hope everything works out for you, that kind of thing. And I was just like, they're like, well, you could have called. I was like, last time I checked, you still have a job, I was
Right.
just like, so I don't know. Yeah, I was bitter. I'll admit
Yeah,
it.
you were. It's okay though. It's
Yeah,
okay.
it's
to
okay.
do.
No, I landed. Hey, out of everybody that worked at TMG, like I'm the only one that still works in the industry. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's that going on.
you just
By the
have-
way, I got a copy of Yokohama Deluxe from somebody. I tracked one
Oh,
down.
there you go, brother.
Yeah. I'm tracking.
No, that's fine. I mean, like I said, I should probably just let it go.
You
I
are.
should
You're
just
being a
let it
bitter
go.
bitch right now.
I
a
Stop
little
it.
bit of bitch. Yeah.
Being a little
But
bit. of a
Aldi played Planet Unknown tonight. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Planet
I've-
Unknown is really good.
It
All these in the chat.
He's in the chat.
bitch. Yeah.
The internet sucks on the boat, Lance. He's no way he's going to get a video. No way.
He could try.
Why?
You know, I've had that game, and
He's with his wife on a cruise. Why?
Yeah, well, they must be having a really intimate moment if he's chatting with us
I
on
know.
Alaboom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magma hot.
Well, we got shut down again, so he's got something to do while she's sleeping.
The thing is that like I would like to say this for the stuff that I backed that is super, super, super late, like I get just as frustrated and annoyed as anybody. It's like just post something. Just post
Yeah,
something.
post something.
And even if it's a picture, you go like this. Just like going,
Hey, we're hanging out in the studio.
Yeah. Look at me spending your money. Just like give me something. Yeah.
Got a little gift.
Hey.
No, Lance, but it has to say we still have your money. And it
Oh
just-
yeah, no. But the thing about that drives you crazy is that the people that are on there that think posting something every other day is going to inspire them to say, furious angry backer 6243 has requested an update every day for the last 70 days. I think I should throw some fresh chum in the water because because I absolutely need to have somebody chew my ass for a half hour.
Steven in the chat says that Madeira is mega late. So one day I looked at Madeira because I wanted to buy it. I just wanted to buy the game. And I looked at I don't know where my reaction was, but I'm sure it was like this. When I looked at the website and I realized they only made like $330,000, and I looked at like the shipping and everything that was out at the time, I think I did one of these.
Oh yeah.
Like I think I actually did that even though I was by myself. Because you're not getting your game. You're not getting your game. Like,
oh no, and they don't
move on. You're
and
not
they don't
getting your game.
They don't even try to pretend that they're going to post on time anymore. They updated in November of 2021, and then they posted another update in April of 2022. They're just like, and people are like, I demand an update every month. Well, you can demand in one hand and shit in the other. See which one fills up faster.
Yeah, man.
You just see these people and they're just losing their minds, and it's just like, dude, it's gone.
Internet culture.
It's gone.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like I know. I think even with success, now you're learning what video games, especially what video games did with Kickstarter, back when it was kind of newer, right?
Yeah.
They didn't have to finish. They didn't have to finish.
Right.
You know, one of the biggest ones was Bloodstained. So Bloodstained, the Castlevania, the Metroidvania game made by the guy who did Symphony of the Night, like he literally was just like abandoned the project, like 3 years in. And he was just like, "Yep, well, that's it. Like no more." And then I think like a year and a half after that, he was like, "Okay, it's happening. Okay, get ready next month. Here's the codes." Like, whoa, whoa. So it can happen where you don't get shit, you know, like, so I think now more than ever, like I said, we're in the new time, but if you go back from the 2018-19 people with all these crazy development cycles, which are merited because of the amount of work that goes into these heavy narrative games and big box games.
Yeah.
We got to get past that part right now. And those people don't have those funds anymore. They just don't. Like
I kind of seen that coming for a while though. I mean, 500-600 hours on the game.
I just can't. The thing is that I can't. All I can say is that now that I'm behind some of this stuff, I can see that like how much of a low margin business board games are. Now I know the numbers.
Right.
Like I see the numbers, I know the numbers now. But the one thing that I didn't realize is like how much publishers subsidize. And in an already small margin business, I'm like, that doesn't even make sense to me.
Yeah.
It's like, pass that shit on to the customer. But then at the same time, as a customer, I'm like, no, man, I'm not paying that. I'd rather just go to the retail for that. So I it's like a conundrum. It's hard. It's really, really hard. Like what is the number is what I would say. Like on a $30 box, what is the shipping number that you gotta pay to say, hey, like, come on, man, pay $37, even though I know it's going to be $27.99 on Miniature Market. You know, like it's tough. It's real tough.
So I want you to go look at this one. Go Google up the game.
Elite Dangerous, yeah.
No. go Google Beyond Humanity :
Oh, dude.
Colonies.
Yeah.
So I did an all-in massive colonist
Sucker.
one-way ticket, $225, whatever.
What?
So a million years ago.
Sure did.
So you go back and like the way that they're and then you watch how like everything's got to have these LED lights, everything like that, and how they're like they're putting their team is manually putting all the things together. Like they basically have all the spare parts and they aren't having like a warehouse do it for them. They're actually putting everything together, putting them in the boxes. And the whole idea is that like, yeah, it was going to have little LED batteries and
Yeah.
it was going to look super cool. And like, it was going to be, and I was like, that seems, I was like, all right, might be
I
like,
thought this game was impossible.
did you play it or something or what?
No, I just thought this was impossible.
So it's one of those things where I was like, all right, well, I'll check this out. And it's just kind of like, and I was interested in it. And so now it's a million years later.
Yeah.
And they're starting to ship these things out, right?
Oh, they are?
Oh yeah. Because they're hand putting them together and then sending them out. So the way they're doing it is they're going by backer number because they're the ones that are sending them. They're basically like, we're putting together backer number 1's game, and then they send it, and we're putting backer. So I'm like, huh.
Wow.
And then like they're around backer, like they've been at it for like months, and they're at 250. Like they like over the last the last like 4 or 5 months, they're at like somewhere around 250, and I was like, huh. I wonder where I'm at. I said, backer 1,647.
Wow.
I'll be like,
But
I'll enjoy getting this game sometime in 2020, late 2023, I'm guessing.
there's a lot of these components look fucking slick though, man.
Yeah.
No, Lance, I mean, like, in good confidence, like it.
I do worry because they did like a, hey, we're doing this other game called Astro Miners, a game set in the same world, and it's just kind of like, we really hope that you give us money so we can still.
Okay, so I actually rejected doing the content for this one. Yep.
Why was
like,
that?
I was like, this seems familiar to me. And now that when you said Astro Miners is exactly the game that I was going to do content for, and I decided not to. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever see my copy.
You don't know if you ever see your copy.
No, I don't hold a lot of faith.
It
looks super cool though. And people
it does
like
look
saying,
cool. And there's nothing safe to say about it.
and there is, well, it's kind of like one of those things too, where it's like, oh, it's just like, and then the Peterson game stuff,
Oh, dude, Peterson game. Oh no. Well, you know what? No, okay, this is the thing. That's one of the things I've learned. That's where people try to compare board games to video games. I'm like, oh, there's one way you can compare board games to video games. It's like, oh, they just hard wipe people. Like they just hard wipe a whole division. Like, it's like, hey, we got some budget cuts. We're gonna cut our company down from 20 to 2 people.
You get a week salary later,
right? Like,
the one thing, the reason why, like, when they basically said, oh, when both, because they had the 2 Peterson games had the Cthulhu Wars Kickstarter, and they had the Glorantha the Gods War Kickstarter, and they were like, okay, so, and then they said for both of those things, they were like, well, we could short term print these off and send these to our backers, or we could basically, because they alluded to this idea that there was a massive desire on the behalf of like retail people or whatever to carry their games, and they were saying that, like, so what we can do is we can actually have them print off a ton of stuff to reprint, and then that will actually put Peterson games in a spot where we will have more longevity. And they said basically we decided to do that, and then now we're gonna and then we'll ship all of that stuff to to our and so that was their mentality. Well, here's the problem: is that like COVID hit, shipping thing hit, everything, like, so this idea that they said, oh, we're gonna add like an extra 6 months to delivery time of all the stuff. No, we're gonna add 3 years
Yeah.
to the delivery of everything.
That's the problem. And then also to have like employees just not see this coming. I think there may have been some like non-information to employees, because like some of the stuff that those employees were saying, it's not like that shit came out of nowhere.
Well, no, and it's just like, and I'm like, that's
I was like,
fine.
damn.
You know, I mean, it's like, but it's just one of those things where they've compounded with like barely updating the campaigns to like, because there's a
I
ton
don't
of
back any of the
negativity.
games, so I don't know them that well.
There's a ton of it's one of those things. Oh, there's a ton of negativity. Well, we can either not post anything, so the negativity just hits nothing, or you know, it just basically these people are just like screaming in empty boxes, or we could just go there and take our lumps and just say,
Right.
we're sorry, we're doing the best we can. This is the
Yep.
situation, and
That's
you're
right.
always better off going in and taking your lumps.
Yep.
You are always better off taking
Take
your
it,
lumps.
just take it on chin like a champ, because if you do and you're not a dick about it, people will eventually stop.
Yeah.
Or
As
you'll have
long
other
as-
people, you'll have other backers step up and defend you. They'll say, look,
right.
what
Or-
more do you want? You know,
Or you'll eventually get to the point where if you do that, then you got to really hit home with some good messages moving forward. So it's like, all right, now we're like 2 months into that, getting beat up in the chat. All right, so now you're going to get updates every 2 weeks. Now you're going to do this and that and that. Or now you're going to get that one promo card now that didn't get funded by $58. You know, like that kind of stuff like that. So there's a way to do it. It's just that, like, for that's the thing, man. Everybody's so unique. It's not like this is the same model. So it's like, why can't you do what, you know, Shadowborn Games did? It's like, it's not the same ball game, bro. Like, it's not the same ball game. You know, everybody's not getting the same quotes. Everybody's not locked in with the same factories. Everybody's not, you know, like, there's promises not kept. There's people who had so-and-so such and such crates all lined up, and they somehow somebody else took them and the rates went up. Like, it's and all that transparency sometimes doesn't go to the customer, and it's like being a president. Sometimes you don't want everybody to know how everything goes, right? So yeah, it's a tough time. And I mean, the more money I put into this, the more I don't want to hear excuses. So I get it, but that doesn't change the unpredictability of what's going on right now. So it's all right. It's just a lot of things out of our control. A lot of things out of our control.
yeah, it's just
And the best thing you can do is just don't back it and wait. That's the best thing you can do for your sanity, or do like I do. And when I back something, when I finally back something, I back it. I read the thank you. I read the shipping update. The late pledge, shipping update, last chance to change your address, or like, you know, it's closing, and then that's it. That's it. Like, I just wait. Like, so many surprises pop up that way. I look at like 3, 4 updates. I don't need all the updates. I just want to know when my game is going.
Well, you're a different situation.
Yeah, when it's no. When I back it, I black hundreds of games. All I want to know is when it's shipping. That's it. That's all I care about. Shipping update, shipping status. I like unboxings. Don't care about it. Pre-production copies. Don't care about it.
Yeah.
You know, like if it sounds like you made an error, sometimes I don't even care about that. Like shipping delays. I don't care about shipping delays. I care about when it's shipping.
I think that's just experience with Kickstarter.
Right. And I think when you back a lot of Kickstarters, a lot of that stuff doesn't get to you as much, or certain things do and certain other things don't, depending on how you feel. Right. So yeah, it's, you know, it's just kind of different. You know?
See, I've been out of Kickstarter for a while just because the cult of the new thing. But I'm curious, is retail doing a little better now because Kickstarter's having all these problems?
Yeah, I don't know how games are doing generally in retail. Of course, you're going to have giants like Arc Nova is just a a game, right? It's just
Well, yeah.
a hit, right? What like are these games coming off Kickstarter? How are they doing in retail? And that'd be a very interesting question based on when I think of a game, and I'm just thinking of like the $100 plus games. Like, what's the retail situation on those? Are games that are over $100, are they doing okay in retail if it's virtual or not? Like Dead Reckoning, is that doing well in retail or not? You know, like Townsfolk Tussle just showed up on sites for retail edition. It's $165. You know, Nemesis, is that doing good on retail? Like, and that's a high rated game with a history. Like, what, like, are those games doing well? Like, or what is doing well for a big box game like that, you know, in a retail setting. So I don't know what those are. I don't know what those numbers are. I would have to have a couple of drinks with one of the pubs and find out like what's, like, kind of explain to me what your model is for something where you only have a SKU that's 200 MSRP, but they're selling it for 169. Like, talk me through this. Like, why? You know, just I don't know. Like, I would like to know. It's interesting to me, at least.
No, I mean, like I said, everybody's angry. Nobody's happy.
I'm happy, man. Shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy.
Fucking koalas and rainbows, man, coming out my belly.
You know, I'll say this. Like
Don't drop some lollipops. Rainbows are everything.
I can remember, I told the story before. You probably weren't here for this, Jeremy, but I remember there's a game called Zweihander, which is an RPG. It's based on the old Warhammer Fantasy rulebook, and they did a Kickstarter for. It was called Mangausch, which is like Zweihander, the big sword, then Mangausch, the little dagger. It was just a supplement book, and they did a Kickstarter for it. And like, rarely do I, like, if I'm like, where's my stuff, which I don't really get like that anymore, because I'm just
did you guys get a little knuckle there, a little show?
Yeah, just
oh, I'll murderize
you. Just whatever, and
put a nickel on Lance. Put a
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the like the old timey boxer?
That old Brooklyn shell.
Yeah.
Put a nickel on Fargo. Put a nickel on Fargo.
Yeah. Anyway, I once saw Henry Tatum go 76 rounds against Drederick Lewis and bare knuckled.
And it ended in a draw.
And it had to end because of nightfall.
Yeah.
But anyway, no. So so we didn't have the books were late, right?
Yeah.
And I was at Gen Con.
I'm gonna get back to this boxing thing in a second. Good.
Yeah. I was at Gen Con, and I walked by this booth, and there's this guy, and he's standing there, and he's got a stack of these Mangausch books. And I was like, I've been waiting for this book, and you got this big stack there, and you're selling them or whatever. And I walked over, and he was like, hey, how can I help you? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I guess I wish I had my copy of this book that I backed on Kickstarter. You seem to be selling them. And he was like, yeah, you should have one. He took the book and he handed it to me.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, well, you want my backer number or anything? No. And I was like, well, that means you're gonna send me another one. Yeah, keep them.
Yep.
Keep them both.
Straight up alpha nerded you.
Give one to your friend. I was just like, and I was all like, I'm gonna come up and we're gonna
I have a major complaint.
We're gonna have fists. That's what we're gonna have. Just like, oh yeah, you're absolutely right. Here, take one.
Yeah, no. Have you ever been challenged to a duel?
I will give you a drubbing. And I was just like, well, you took the wind out of my sails,
I
so
know.
I'll
Holy
I'll
shit.
scuttle off with my book
Yeah.
and
Wow.
Bet you how I couldn't be mad.
Lance comes running back on Sunday at 5 p.m. You son of a bitch, there's a grammatical error. You gotta find something to be angry about.
You know, and like, yeah, the other thing was, what was it? No, I mean, you know what company you don't hear anything from anymore?
Tasty Minstrel.
Ah, Flying Frog Games.
Dude,
Yeah,
hey,
you-
don't talk. Hey, you know what?
Yeah, you
Don't
do.
talk shit about that little publisher, man. Those guys,
Yeah.
I gotta meet them. I gotta meet them at Gen Con. They are a weird publisher. Loyalty up the wazoo. Old school, old school.
Yeah.
Like they're run old school. They've survived. Their prices are high. They haven't moved on them. They're doing okay, I guess. I know they haven't delivered on I think a big box, but their fans wait, man. They wait.
So here's the
And they get their product out and it doesn't suck. I actually lo and behold,
they've put out some stuff that sucks.
Yeah.
But,
they have in the
not that
past.
one. This one doesn't suck.
Shadow of Brimstone. Yeah, that was a good one.
So here's
Lance
my
wouldn't know.
and this
Lance
has
got
nothing.
butthurt over this.
What?
Yeah, butthole over Shadows of Brimstone.
Yeah, him and Anthony. Wasn't
No,
it Shadows?
No. My only complaint, my only begrudgment that I ever had about Flying Frog has nothing to do with any other games that they've ever published. I've told this story before, and people probably forgot. But back when I still did the BGG Secret Santa,
Yeah.
until I just started getting screwed. Like, you know, I mean, which I understand. The spirit is to give, not to get, you know, but when like you like, you know, it's just like, it's one of those things where it's like, so I stopped doing it just because
Yeah.
it just wasn't worth
You
it.
just get you at some point, right? At some
But I remember my random person they gave me was one of, because it's a family, it's like brothers or whatever that run, and it was one of the brothers that they got it, right? And I forget what the guy's name is to save my life. I got him as my Secret Santa, and I saw that like he was a big fan of Runebound back, and this is like, you know, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, cool. So I like tracked down like some Runebound stuff for him and like some like promos or whatever, put it in a package, sent it off to him. Thought that's cool. I'll send that to him. And then of course it's secret, right? It's all in Secret Santa. So I went to Gen Con that year, and I said, hey, is that guy here? And they're like, yeah, he's over there. And I was like, is there any chance I can meet him? And like, and they're like,
no, Lance,
they're-
what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you
Fucking
just telling me-
stalker.
I thought it'd be cool just to tell him, right?
You're a high conflict nerd.
Yeah, he is.
Why is that icon?
Minnesota nice.
So I was just like, I was like, hey, nice to meet you. And I was like, I really like Last Night on Earth. I really enjoyed the game because he was like one of the
I
designers.
just played it the other day.
And he was like, oh, thanks very much. And I was like, hey, I heard that you were a big fan of Runebound. And he's like, how do you know that? And I was like, no.
Hold on, Lance, hold on.
Stalking Santa. Not even the
Stalking
sexy one. Not even a sexy stalking Santa. Just the creepy one.
Let me finish my story. You don't even know what's going to happen. You don't know what the story is.
Well, I don't know. You could be a bear to some guy. That could be
Okay.
cool.
So here's the deal. So I was like, and I said, oh, you know, it's like, you know, do you did you like it? And he's like, oh, how'd you know that? And I was like, oh, well, you know, you're Secret Santa, I know. And I was like, I was Secret Santa, and that's why I tracked down those like things, and I got you there because I found him an out of print like big box expansion that never got reprinted, and then I found like a couple other things, and which again, totally a situation where, you know, it is to give,
Yeah.
not to get, right? then the guy knew who I was. He knew I was doing, because I was doing the videos. I was like neck deep, in the video
Right.
stuff. And he kind of looked at me and he was like, so do you think I owe you free games now?
Right.
That's what the guy said. He's like, not even like, oh, thanks, that's
Right.
really awesome. He was just like, because he like listed those as his wants or whatever on there, and he was like, so you think I owe you like free games now? Was his response to me. I was like, no, I just thought it was cool that I got you, man. But I'll talk to you later. He's like, okay.
Oh.
I was just like, and I was just like, oh, yeah. I was totally like,
don't make me Will Smith your ass.
and I was just kind of like, and I will never buy another fucking game from you ever again.
I will East Coast and West Coast the shit out of you.
Yeah, it was like all. I mean, it was just like every.
love it when
And
you go
again,
big pop.
maybe he was having a bad day. Maybe just you catch somebody on the wrong moment.
See, it's when people do shit like that, man. They think they're getting a win.
Yeah.
And you're not getting a win. Like you're not winning anything. Like,
And I have noticed, like, and I'm not. I noticed that like recently, like very recently, I don't lose my temper with my family. I don't lose my temper with my friends. But if you are some motherfucker who doesn't know the difference between your accelerator pedal and your brake while you're driving, it's like, what are you doing? I like have the shortest fuse with driving people. I don't know. It's just because I'm getting old.
I've noticed I've been getting that way, Lance. Like, because I haven't driven so much.
I hate waiting. I hate waiting in
everybody's
lines.
in a hurry to go.
I hate.
nowhere.
Yeah.
I hate,
Yeah.
and it's just like, and like today, I was heading home, and I just wanted to get home. I just wanted to get home because I was hungry, and I wanted to, I had shit to do, and in the back of my head, I had like a million, because I've got like while I've been sitting here, I've got probably another 30 address change emails for like these things that we're fulfilling. And I'm just like, it just piles up and piles up. And I was like, oh, I had to leave the house and I just want to get home. And I'm just like, and I'm sitting there, and the last light where you turn, last light, go back it. The last light before you turn to get to my house, and like this person in front of me, they got the left lane, they get in the left lane. I'm like, go. It's turning yellow. Go. And they slow down to 2 miles an hour. Yeah. And then they finally turn, making it so I can't make it without like going through a red light. And I'm watching this car travel off into the distance to go to whatever destination they get to go to, free and clear, while I gotta wait another 5 minutes for the stupid light. You motherfucker! It's like shaking my fists, wasting my impotent rage. This person that just
oh my god. All right, man, let me get out of here, man.
Yeah, it's almost 1. We should just call it a night. You're going to Gen Con though, right?
Yes, I am, man.
How many days?
I get there probably late Wednesday night till Sunday.
Okay. This is where I say, hey, we should actually play a game this year, and then you say, yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah,
and it never happened.
I have a couple one of those with. I have that same one with like 3 people.
Well, I will be.
If you ever slow down, somebody says, if you ever slow down, we can catch up and we can play.
After, so my daughter and I, like, what we do at Gen Con is, after the hall closes, we go eat.
Yep.
And then if we aren't too tired or like whatever, we go to the hot games room, and that's where we sit. And we sit there and play games and scream and yell and carry on. So if you actually do want to play a game.
Yeah, I am. Dude, Lance, I have so many meetings. I'm telling you.
I have so many. I have so many meetings.
No, I'm not on that shit anymore. I have so much business to conduct during con hours. I cannot wait to get done at the end of the day. I am going to play till I drop after.
I'm so important.
Fuck all that. Fuck all that. It's business, man. It's business.
It's all business. How is that working out? The whole doing that thing. How is
It's
that
good.
working out?
It's good enough where I have to hire people.
Did Shane ever meet with you?
Yeah, and that's that's something that the one of the people that I have on my team is going to deal with. I don't know what they talked about, but I'm assuming that there are some games that are coming in the pipeline that I maybe will be interested in. So we'll see.
Yeah, your voice went like all Stewie Griffin, like
Could be in the pipeline.
Maybe we'll just get a
Suki,
tweet.
you want Yumi 2.0 Extra Plus Alpha Macross edition?
I when I was at Origins, do you ever go to Big Fun when you're at Origins?
No.
So Big Fun is this. You got it next time you go to Origins, and if you're there, you just Google Big Fun. It's like
Okay.
it's about a 10-minute walk from the convention. Like basically, if you walk out and you take a right, you head down this road.
Yeah.
And you look at the right, and it is
Toy store?
It is a toy store that
Yeah.
deals almost exclusively in out of print toys.
Dude, I'm going there next year to get a Voltron, the Voltron from when I was a kid, because I have the Voltron from when I was 14 here.
Nobody cares.
So I have this one.
Oh yeah.
I have this one. They have the OG one that's like this tall with the old toys, the exact one that I had when I was a little boy. I'm going to buy it. It's 350. I don't care how much it costs. I'm buying it. I don't give a shit.
Anyway, so I went there and and they have like, they have the out of print like they have all kinds of stuff.
Dude, they have McDonald's toys. Somebody went. They had McDonald's toys. So they had like the old Transformer, like fries, old Transformer burgers, and shit like that.
So I took a picture of their display case, and I was like, basically of all these, just figurines, display case of anime figurines or whatever, just like told my son, what do you want? What looks cool? And then like, Zorro from One Piece. The guy, I was like, all right, some weird exclusive Japanese figure that's probably not worth the exorbitant amount of money that I'm paying right now, and then you'll take it out of the packaging and put it on your shelf, and it's valueless now. It's just like, but oh well, it's something that you can't get it unless you're in Japan or at Big Fun. So
it's part of the game, man. But I have to check out that place because my buddy was like, dude, just opening the drawers that they have of just stuff.
Oh yeah, it's all nutball shit.
Memory lane. Dude, they had one of the Transformers that they had was the old chicken nuggets. I forgot chicken nuggets used to come in a styrofoam kind of. Well, not styrofoam. Is that styrofoam? Like you would open it up, and like I was just like, oh yeah, you used to put nuggets in like a little carton kind of thingy, and just seeing that old stuff just gives you this little kid memories. I can't wait to check it out. Every time I went, it was closed. So, and I remember we were on our way to that whatever that ice cream spot is,
Jenny's ice cream.
Jenny's ice cream, and I remember stopping there. My friend was like, I know how much you love Voltron. They have two of them right there. And I was like, oh. There's still nothing cooler than Voltron. I swear to God, there's just nothing cooler than Voltron. Like, whoever came with that idea, what a fucking idea.
And a fantastic Netflix series too.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Dude, that Netflix, you want to talk about oh shit buttons. Like, the season finales of that.
Oh yeah.
Like every season finale was like, holy shit.
And it didn't, and it was grim and it was perilous and it was heartwarming and
it was everything. That show was everything.
They did a very good job.
They did a very good job. And by the way, with longevity, how many seasons was that? Like 7?
Yeah, it went on forever. It was like one of those things where it's like, I can't believe they haven't canceled this yet.
I know, it's so Netflix, like you would think it got canceled like right away. They're like, oh, this is the highest rated show, canceled.
Yeah, just like
99 Rotten Tomatoes, canceled.
Yeah. Oh, Santa Clara diet. You know anyone? Santa Clarita diet. Yeah, just like everybody was like, this show's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. What? It's totally ended in a it ended in a total like cliffhanger. What's going to happen? Well, you never will find out.
Never.
You're never going to find out. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for watching, Jeremy. Good to see you, brother. Next week, if you can come back, doing our Gen Con review.
I thought this
preview.
week was a Gen Con preview, but I will be back.
The Collins of Keith will be here, and he does it. So yeah, there you go.
All right.